I've done call 5 times. It's the only time I got through.
I promise we're gonna get it for you tomorrow. I promise you.
Call back in the morning, Alfred, because we need this energy.
Okay.
What time? What time in the morning?
Yeah, just before the show, and I will get you on first up. I promise you.
But I'm in Kentucky, so it come on noon or 9.
11
Eastern.
11
Eastern. Noon Eastern. Call us at noon Eastern tomorrow.
Oh, I'll call you 11:49, 11:59.
Okay. All right.
We'll
Put it in your
Adam
date.
gets you
Alfred, Kentucky.
I love you guys.
Right back at you. Thanks again. That was so much fun.
Even though you said you
by the
didn't
way,
like
I'm
me.
sitting at the Rich Eisen Show desk, furnished by Grainger with supplies and solutions for every industry. Grainger has the right product for you. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by.
Yeah, we got to get full.
I don't know what I did to Alfred, but
well, I mean, sometimes
You know what you did to Alfred?
You know,
just being you, I think.
You're probably right.
I know people like Alfred.
Big dog.
Big dog. For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers high-quality supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by.
Oh, no. Stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by
Wings Over Greenville just turned up the heat with a new Honey Hotter flavor. Sweet meets spicy in the boldest way yet. Download the Wings Over app and join the Frequent Flyer Club. Earn points, unlock exclusive deals, and redeem for free food. Save your go-to orders, order ahead, and skip the line. First-time app user? Get free tenders just for signing up. And when you order delivery through the app, you skip the middleman. No extra fees from third-party apps like Uber Eats or DoorDash. And don't forget, use the promo code PIRATE25 for 10% off your meal. So fly smart. Download the Wings Over app today or order now at wingsover.com. Wings Over, they deliver.
Baltimore Orioles baseball.
Hyam's going to work against Holiday. Jackson, left field, deep. Collins is back, way back there, and that one is off the wall, off the wall. Urias will round third, he will score. Holiday's going to get to third base and get a stop sign. That one was off the wall, and it took a huge carom towards the infield. It's an RBI triple for Jackson, and it's just a one-run game here in Milwaukee.
Catch all the O's action right here on Pirate Radio, your home of the Baltimore Orioles.
My whole business just went up in flames, but my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owner's insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Parker Bird for my friends at Shimmer Boutique. New spring arrivals are here from all your favorite brands like Kinder Scott, Yeti, Local Boy, Pimp Shrimp, Simply Southern, and a lot more. Shop now at shimmerboutiqueonline.com and receive free shipping on all orders over $100. And don't forget, Shimmer is your place to get your very own Parker Bird shirt, available in youth and adult sizes. Shimmer in Greenville, Winterville, Jacksonville, and shimmerboutiqueonline.com. Go Pirates.
This is Brian Harris with 360 Golf Carts, Pitt County's go-to shop for all things golf carts. We have E-Z-Go, club car, and utility carts to choose from. Whether it's for the beach, riding around the neighborhood, or working in the yard, 360 Golf Carts has the perfect ride for you. If you have issues with your current cart, take it by my shop for an expert's diagnosis. From parts to sales to service, we have you covered. We will even deliver right to you. So come see me, Brian Harris, on Highway 43, just past D.H. Conley High School. 360 Golf Carts, Pirates supporting Pirates.
Is your office printer on the fritz? Don't wait days for a repair. This is Walker Allen Volova with CopyPro, where we promise fast 3-hour service on all of your copy equipment. No need to press 1 for English for an overseas service line. All of our calls are answered right here in Greenville. Plus, we offer a free office printing analysis to help you cut cost and boost efficiency. We'll show you exactly how to save money on ink, toner, and energy. For reliable, fast service, call CopyPro today at 1-800-682-6558 and see how we can help your office run more efficiently. CopyPro, fast service, smarter printing, bringing more value to your business.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
If you missed the Brian Bailey Show, you missed.
Dr. Gary Overton joins us, the all-time winningest coach in East Carolina baseball history. The ACC and other schools have gone to single elimination, and I really thought the American would change.
That was done because of a feeling that their champions were exhausted by the time their tournament ended. It possibly affected them into the NCAA tournament. The American at some point will probably make a change in that direction, but let's remember too that there's only 8 teams that go in the American versus every team in the SEC and the ACC.
Tune in Mondays at noon for the Brian Bailey Show, powered by Greenville Utilities, right here on Pirate Radio. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 at 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
Afternoon, everybody.
We got Jarrett here. Hey, Jarrett. Hey. And we got left side. Strong side.
What's up, Chandler? How you?
The little guy. It was just such a fresh of breath air. Well said, Chuck.
Come on, Chuck.
I will read it verbatim. The Masters tournament is special.
Hold on, you'll read it what?
Verbatim.
Verbatim?
How do you spell that? That word you just said, how do you spell it?
I have no clue.
Say it one more time. You're going to read it
verbatim.
That's how you said verbatim.
Is verbatim. That's what I said.
No, you did not.
I said verbatim.
Nope. None. No. There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes. Very low percentage.
Loneliness is worse than COVID. It's a proven fact.
I'm not talking about this.
Correct.
That's all. I love y'all, man.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Welcome in to a Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Big postseason day for us here in Eastern Carolina and the Carolinas, as the East Carolina Pirates playing in the AAC tournament coming up after UTSA and Tulane, which, by the way, man, no lead is safe against UTSA. They just put up 3 runs and are now tied with the Green Wave as they play in the 6th inning. So we await the finish of that one so we can get to ECU and Charlotte. We'll talk about that during today's show. Also, Carolina Hurricanes hockey, Game 2, Eastern Conference Final, coming up tonight in Raleigh. Must-win time for Carolina after dropping Game 1. We will discuss that as well. We got a ton to talk about today on Pirate Radio Live. Got a lot of guests to get to, including Rahjai Harris. We'll hear from him in a moment. Also, Zach Kaplan will join us inside the Pirate Radio studios. Coach Kim McNeill dropped by earlier today. Got an off-season recap. A lot of new faces going to be on this women's basketball team. She talked about that and a whole lot more. Got that coming your way. Dustin Lineback came by earlier today via video, and we talked to him about the pirate ship that was cruising around the track last weekend, and talked about heading to Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600 and what makes a good jackman in NASCAR. We talked about that with the former ECU linebacker Dustin Lineback. Got that interview coming up on today's show. Greg Hudson will join us live a couple hours from now. Where in the world is Greg Hudson? I don't know, but we'll find out coming up later on in today's show. show. And J-Bone, Jared Watkins, did a one-on-one with Shane Connuck, talking NASCAR, talking Charlotte football, a little Charlotte baseball as well. You'll hear that on today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. Got a full crew here as well. Shirley Rhodes is here. Intern Hayden, who's not an intern. I don't know her title. We'll have to give her a new title. Hayden is here joining us, which is awesome. We got J-Bone, Jared Watkins here, the big dog Glenn Griffin, and Stranger Danger, left side.
Strong side, baby.
The Chan Man is here. What's up, Chan?
What's up, Clipper? Great to see you. Feels like it's been 2 days because it has been 2 days.
It has.
Happy Thursday to you. Last show of the week.
That's right. We'll have a best of coming your way on Friday's edition of Pirate Radio Live. We got a lot of news and notes to get to. Shirley, can I get some not pony, but can I get some genuine ECU Minji's Coliseum band music?
Yes, you'll just have to give me a moment, but I can scare up some stuff for you.
I don't have many moments to give you today because we are packed, but I can offer you a moment, moment in time, because we have East Carolina. How do you say it?
East Carolina.
Basketball news. The Pirates will be compete in the Fort Myers tip-off to kick off the... See, I don't like this, but then again, I don't like when they say kickoff when it comes to basketball.
It's got to say tip-off.
But then again, it would say in the Fort Myers tip-off to tip off the... Maybe just say to start, to begin the 2025-26 season. Now, who is in this field? This is the strongest field East Carolina has ever competed in one of these MTEs, one of these tournaments.
I know one of the teams. Actually, I know two of the teams out of the four. East Carolina.
Okay.
And also North Carolina.
The Tar Heels of North Carolina are in the Fort Myers tip-off. January, February, Izzo. September, October, Izzo. Sparty, Michigan State is in the Fort Myers tip-off. And
this is kind of awkward for you.
You know, you go to summer camp and you find that love for about 3 weeks. My basketball love for a season and a half or so. St. Bonaventure, the Bonnies. I still own Bonnie's gear. St. Bonaventure is in this as well. East Carolina will face Michigan State on November 25th. The Pirates will play the Bonnies November 27th. Two great non-conference basketball games. East Carolina already scheduled to face North Carolina, so they won't play them as part of this tournament, but they will play the Tar Heels later on in the year. So they'll play Michigan State and St. Bonaventure in the Fort Myers tip-off. This is set at Suncoast Credit Union Arena on the campus of Florida Southwestern State College.
Man.
Sounds like a lovely venue. That is exciting, man. I'm my dream, John Moody and I talk about this a lot. We would sell our souls to get ECU in the Maui Invitational one year. But man, I would like to be in one of these big tournaments every year. I don't even know if this is a big tournament, but man, it is got some headliners in this thing.
Yeah, Michigan State, North Carolina. I mean, even St. Bonaventure, who has made a name for themselves in the past few seasons. Yeah, this is to see East Carolina's logo with Michigan State and North Carolina especially in the MTE to start the season off. Man, maybe this gets us closer to Maui, or maybe gets us closer to the Battle of Atlantis.
Hey, let's beat Michigan State and St. Bonaventure, and then Atlantis and Maui will be coming after us, saying, when can we get you guys in our tournament? Because that's what we want.
I want to see East Carolina. I want to say it every time. I want to see East Carolina's uniforms under those lights in Battle of Atlantis where it's so dark in there.
The dark lighting. Yeah, I'm with you there. So that is very exciting news. Chandler, we got college football news as well.
Some playoff news.
So the
Explain to me like I'm 5.
The number of teams stays the same, and will do so for this year, and then they could revamp the college football playoff. But changes are being made. The 12-team college football playoff will move to a straight seeding model this fall. It will reward the selection committee's top 4 teams with the top 4 seeds and a first-round bye. So if you remember last year, they did the top 4 ranked conference champions, which allowed Boise State to get a bye. In this current format, Boise State would have been in been the 8 seed or something like that. They would not have gotten a first-round bye. I'm fine with this. It was kind of wacky the way it was set up last year. In a way, the Broncos were ranked 9th, Boise State, and were seeded 3rd. Number 12 ranked Arizona State earned the 4th seed and the final bye. So last year, the top 4 would have been Oregon, Georgia, Texas, Penn State. But because Penn State and Oregon are both in the Big Ten, Texas, Georgia, both in the SEC, only one of those teams got the bye. One thing I do like about this, I didn't like that Boise State had no chance to host a game. Now they could actually host a playoff game. East Carolina could host a playoff game. It would take a lot for that to happen.
Absolutely.
But it's possible. But either way, then there'll still be an automatic spot for the group of 5. They are just changing the way they seed them. The group was also expected to agree on a financial component Thursday. $4 million payout that comes with advancing to the quarterfinal, in addition to the $4 million for reaching the playoff, for a total of $8 million earned by a team's respective conference. Under this agreement, the 4 highest-ranked conference champions still expected to earn $8 million they would have under the previous model. Good payday for the Mountain West, with Boise State making it last year.
Tell them to bring me my money.
That's right. All right, so there's a couple of big news items to kick off today's show. Shirley and Hayden, let me say hello to the chat gang, but Shirley and Hayden, can we talk to Rahjai Harris here in a moment? Are we prepared for such things?
Yes, give me 2 seconds.
Okay, while we wait, Jerry says hello. Hey, Jerry.
What's up, Jerry Bear?
Help the bear.
Hello.
Help the bear. Oh, thanks, Shirley. PJ says hello.
Hello.
And guess what he's doing tonight? Watching the Canes, watching the end of the Pirates. Well, maybe, but he'll be doing it on a mobile device because he will be in historic Granger Stadium watching Danny Beal and the Down East Bird Dogs. Danny Beal is on the mound tonight. Watch the Down East Bird Dogs play.
No chewing seeds for Danny today. He's on the bump.
Tell David to stick those sunflower seeds somewhere. Watch the Down East Bird Dogs play. Jamie says, hey now.
Hey now.
Crazy Indiana sports day yesterday.
Oh, my goodness.
Go Pirates, go Pacers. R.I.P. Mr. Irsay, a man with struggles but most generous owner in sports. Yeah, Jim Irsay passing away yesterday. R to the I to the P. Kaz says, good afternoon. A good afternoon to you, sir.
Good day, sir.
Good day. Jamie says, happy Hayden.
Are you happy in there?
Hey, Hayden.
It's good to see you.
Look at that smile.
Thanks for the strawberries.
Oh, man.
You're so welcome.
I brought I asked my wife, because Lily loves strawberries. I was like, hey, can you give me like a Tupperware thing? I'm going to take it to work and take some strawberries home, because Hayden brought some beauties. So I'm going to be taking some of those home tonight. Joel is in. Go Pirates. Cal is in. What's up, Cal? All right, tell you what, we got a lot to get to on today's show. Zach Kaplan will join us in a moment. But let's go ahead and line up Rahjai on the Pirate Radio Live line. He joins us on a Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Rahjai, how you doing, man?
My God, man. I'm doing great. I'm blessed, man. I can't complain, man. How about yourself?
Hey, always great to hear from you. Doing well, enjoying some sports this time of year. Got the Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference Final. Got ECU baseball. Trying to advance to the semifinals with a win today in the conference tournament. So I got some things to follow. Great game last night with the Pacers and the Knicks. Rahjai, you other than the work you're putting in for yourself, you keeping up with anything in sports?
Not really. I be watching basketball a little bit, kind of like the highlights and everything, man. But I really don't got too much time, man, to be, checking out sports and stuff, man. But
on the grind. So, yeah. Any update with you? I know you went to the Bills rookie mini camp and back home. Any update there? Or you just grinding every day?
Really just waiting. I'm getting updates here and there every other day from my agent. NFL team, CFL, UFL, whatever it is, man. He's updating me on everything, man. So just sitting patiently, man, and just being patient, man. Waiting on God's timing, man, because it ain't my timing, it's His timing, man. So whenever that is, I'll be ready for sure.
Some interesting news regarding the Bills yesterday. They will be the team on Hard Knocks this offseason. I don't know if
I've seen that.
So if you did get a invite, that would be kind of interesting to see you behind the scenes. How about that, Rahjai? The social media part of it has become so big, and there was a time where I thought ECU didn't do enough when it came to showing some things and promoting the athletes. Now I think they do a fantastic job of it. In fact, it hurts us a little bit because it seems like we don't get as much access anymore because ECU does such a great job promoting their own people. But you've had a camera on you at practice and things like that before. Is it distracting, or can you just go on with your normal work even if people are out there watching you?
No, I'm in my own little zone, man. When I'm out there, man, I'm out there on a mission, man. When I'm out there practicing, I might be giggling and smiling, man, but the work got to be put in, man. So it don't matter who's out there watching. It could be 0 people out there, like 2020, COVID year, man. I'm still trying to put in work, man. So never distracting. I might distract y'all or whatever, trying to help with y'all, man. But it's never a problem for me.
Rahjai Harris joining us. Another topic on the show this week has been celebrations, touchdown celebrations, because did you see the video with Holton Ahlers scoring and throwing the ball to Caden Norman?
No, I've seen it, man. That's just Holton doing Holton things.
So, I talked to Justin Hardy on Monday. He was not a celebrator. He was a hug a teammate or whatever and run back to the sidelines. You do a little icy. You do throw up a 47, but you didn't do too much stuff. Do you have like a celebration you remember where did you have anything planned or a big one that you did?
Nah, I always in high school just threw up the 47. And then I think 2022, that's when I started doing like the little icy celebration, man. So it's always been one or the other, or both, depending on how I'm feeling, man. But like I said, I like to have fun and celebrate the W's, man, and celebrate the touchdowns and stuff like that. So you never know. You might catch me doing something crazy.
What was going through your mind with your last touchdown of your ECU career? Because you hit a celebration or two, but immediately looked towards the sidelines, right? To the stands.
Man, I was looking at the stands, man, trying to tell everybody, man, game over. You know what I'm saying? I blacked out, man.
Yeah.
I threw my helmet. I don't even remember throwing my helmet or nothing, man. And I think Coach Earl was trying to go for 2, and I wasn't even paying attention, man. I blacked out, man. I blacked out.
Bryce Williams, former tight end, tells a great story that he scored a big touchdown in Blacksburg against Virginia Tech, and he got so excited, ran to the sidelines, and he said, we were watching it one day on YouTube, and he said, watch the extra point. There were 10 guys on the field because he was so excited he forgot to run on for the extra point. So, look, it's good to be excited, but kind of a lesson. You got to keep your head in all those moments, right?
Definitely. You got to control your emotions for sure, man. For sure.
Rahjai Harris joining us today, Pirate Radio Live. So, Rahjai, I guess the work doesn't stop. What's your day-to-day like now?
Now we're kind of preparing for baby girl to be here. Introducing her this week. So, man, day-to-day, I wake up every morning depending on, when I really want to get up. Some days this week I woke up about 5:30, got in here about 6:30. For the first workout. So, just grinding, man, doing a couple of workouts a day, just trying to stay busy, stay focused, my guy.
So a double girl dad for Rahjai Harris.
Yeah. Double girl, man. Double trouble, huh?
Double trouble. But no, it's one of those things like guys always say, I want a boy. And then I have a daughter and everybody that says that or whatever, I'm like, look, man, girls are awesome. Like you're going to love it.
Definitely. Yeah, she taught me how to love for sure, man.
There you go. Well, Rahjai, we'll let you get back to it, man. We appreciate you checking in with us each and every week here on Pirate Radio Live, and we'll reconvene with you next week, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all more, man. Y'all have a blessed one.
All right, there's our guy, Rahjai Harrison, joining us with a check-in. Much like Hayden, brightens the day when you talk to Rahjai. Great fella.
And always has a smile.
That he does. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Zach Kaplan going to join us here, hour one. Once again, we are packed with interviews on today's show. Got Kim McNeill, Dustin Lineback coming up hour 2. Greg Hudson, Shane Connuck coming up hour 3. The Chan Man along for the ride, expecting the arrival of Zach Kaplan. We'll talk Canes. We'll talk Pirates. Man, huge one for the Pirates today. Win this one, you move on to the semis on Saturday. Say it, Sean. Talking to that mic.
You're in the driver's seat.
That's right, man. No shotgun, no rear window.
You driving the car.
You ain't in the trunk. You're driving. All right, back with you, Pirate Radio Live on a Thursday after these words.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas, which is the best for all you boat owners. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates.
Here with Brian Cook, the comptroller for Greenville Motor Company and Greenville Auto World. Talk a little bit about the financing options that you provide.
We're here to help anybody from bad credit, poor credit, rebuilding credit, or great credit. We find the best deal through over 30 lenders here that we work with every day, and we're focused on finding the best fit for all our customers.
One website, 2 outstanding dealerships, Greenville Motor Company, Greenville Auto World. Try us, trust us at driveherenow.com.
Are you tired of dealing with IT headaches? Does this sound familiar? Phones, Wi-Fi, or email always acting up? Are you afraid of phishing scams, data breaches, or ransomware attacks? Every minute your systems are down, you're losing money. If you're nodding your head, it's time to call cybersharks.net. We handle IT so you can focus on growing your business. Fast, reliable, and always there when you need us. Call 321-7800 today and get IT support that actually works. Cybersharks.net. We keep your business swimming.
Pirate fans, the East Carolina football season ticket campaign presented by Hamill Builders is underway. The Pirates are looking to build momentum off an 8-win season and that Military Bowl win over North Carolina State. Head coach Blake Harrell wants you to be a part of his first full season as the Pirate head coach. Season tickets can be purchased for as little as $115. Call 1-800-DIAL-ECU or go to ECUPirates.com today to get your 2025 season tickets.
Planning a special event, whether it's a baby shower, bridal luncheon, birthday party, or even a tailgate at Clark LeClaire Stadium, Chicken Salad Chick has you covered. Their fan favorite mini croissant platters is just one of many options to choose from, perfect for any occasion. With a variety of chicken salad flavors, there's something for everyone to enjoy. Let us do the work while you enjoy the event. Delicious, fresh, and served with a smile. Chicken Salad Chick Catering. Make every event memorable. Visit chickensaladchick.com to place your catering order. Just remember, you pick it up and we'll have it ready to go. Chicken Salad Chick, where every event is a little bit tastier.
Looking for an adventure that's refreshing in more ways than one? Welcome to River Vibes, where nature meets flavor. Freely paddle through the stunning Pamlico River on one of our kayaks or stand-up paddle boards. After your adventure, cool down with one of our mouth-watering smoothies, refreshers, boba teas, or fresh juices. Plus, grab some awesome River Vibes gear to remember the day. River Vibes, where every moment is a splash of fun. Visit us in historic downtown Washington or on Facebook or Instagram. Ride, relax, and refresh at River Vibes.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates.
Eastern North Carolina's Bourbon Authority is Greenville's premier American-styled restaurant. The Rick House specializes in handcraft dishes, and our bar features the very best in bourbons like Parker's Heritage, Knob Creek, and Jefferson's.
Big changes are coming to the Rick House. A new menu is on the way with great food, and it's the perfect atmosphere for a night out.
Let the Rick House host your next big event in our 2,000 square foot banquet hall. It's perfect for wedding rehearsals, graduations, and holiday parties. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road in Greenville.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Chronic joint pain hovers, and you never know when it's going to rear its ugly head, and that goes for David Garrard, too. And this is why the medical professionals at QC Kinetics take their job so seriously. When they treat patients like David Garrard, they are delivering long-term relief, treatments without surgery or downtime. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today at 252-645-6458. That's 252-645-6458. And Overtime Tavern is on South Charles Boulevard, right across from the Sheets. You can come in for great food, cold drinks, and the all the game day action. Try their Philly cheesesteaks, glizzies, mouth-watering burgers, and delicious wings. And you can come play sports trivia on Wednesdays with Clip Brock. They're open until midnight, Sunday through Thursday, and open late until 3 a.m. on the weekend. There's always time on the clock at Overtime Tavern. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
That was a fun, productive break. Oh, my.
You're watching the Kinston Indians play.
Zach Kaplan joins us. He was asking about that little jingle we were singing, that ditty, and the Down East Bird Dogs use it now, but it's an old Kinston Indians promo. Here it is in all of its glory. I found the promo on YouTube, and there were
some strange comments.
There were 5 comments on it. Now there's 6 because I added one to it. This video was posted 17 years ago on YouTube. That had to be in like the infancy of YouTube. What year is it? 25, 17. So we're talking.
YouTube comes around like 06.
Okay, yeah, early days.
05, 06.
This is one of the first videos posted on YouTube. Here are some of the comments. SB Cool says, I once saw a Kinston Indians game when I was young. All right.
That's from 4 years ago.
The Art of Time Lapse More said, when I was in Snow Hill Primary, I got to go to a Kinston Indians game. Champion time it was. Watching a baseball game and enjoying treats at the stadium. That doesn't sound like a human.
That's definitely a bot. It's a bot.
That could be an alien who came down to watch a Kinston Indians game.
Very confused alien.
88 Mike 42 says, I love the intimacy of the old field, very close to the action. One could pretty much bet that someone would go home with a souvenir fractured skull or broken windshield, courtesy of a foul ball. All kidding aside, though, those games were a lot of fun.
That's a real person. The kidding's right here. Put that to the side.
Big Shot says, like a boss. I love that song. And John Peeled Single Dad says, I love screaming this at everyone from Southeast North Carolina just to watch the horror wash over their eyes.
What did you comment?
And then the newest comment from Clip Brock says, I was conceived to this song. I watched the Kinston Indians once in 1994. It was the best night of my life. I love baseball. So there you go. If anybody Just search Kinston Indians commercial on YouTube and watch this video. I gave it a like.
The comments are going to blow up now, you realize.
Yeah, and listen to the promo and drop your comments. It's got 2.2 thousand views.
Over 2.2 thousand people have heard this song, at least. Or clips, just listen to it 1,000 times. And the other half are people watching it.
Jerry says almost every commercial in Eastern North Carolina seemed to sound like that during the 80s. Man, I miss the time of great jingles and commercials. Mike P said PRL is a champion time. What is champion time?
Champion time, it was.
Champion time. Indeed. All right. Mike P says, hey, Zach.
Hey, Zach.
PJ says, hey, Zach.
Hey, Zach.
I just couldn't use it. You want to talk about catchy jingles? I mean, that's like...
Zach Kaplan. Jamie says, why do you have to put single dad in your name? Is he bragging? Sounds like more of a...
Nope.
Like, help me.
Yeah. Like I need help. A cry for help.
Yeah.
I would say.
I got to cry for help, Zach.
Okay, I might have a solution.
Are the Canes toast?
No.
Are they?
I asked you that last night. No.
Are they D&D?
No.
Are they done and dusted?
Done and dusted.
No. I asked him last night. I said, the Cane's done. He said, what do you mean by done?
Correct.
Done and dusted.
Done and dusted.
I'm not talking about this.
So you think they're
not done and dusted?
Well, they got to win tonight.
Yeah.
Or they're D&D. You think they can win tonight?
They can definitely win tonight. Ken Watlington will be in attendance. I don't know if he talked about it.
As a paying customer.
Yeah.
And they're undefeated when he's a paying customer.
I think they get it done tonight. I think they do.
I can't believe they're favored. I want to take Florida.
I know. But
it seems
Florida's very good. I don't know a lot about hockey, but the way they played the other night, fast and getting the puck in there quick.
Even the games the Canes lost to the Devils and the Capitals, what was it, 1 apiece?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Hurricanes look like they belong. At times they look like the better team. Like, they look like they know what they're doing. The other night, like,
they look like those teams.
Florida, and the Canes did some things right, I guess. But, man, Florida just looked awesome.
And maybe part of that, too, is Florida goes from Game 7 Sunday right to Game 1 Tuesday. Almost didn't have time to think about it, really. Canes, have 5 days off. I wasn't, so shocked that they came out a little rusty. Just time in between the series. The biggest thing that killed them as far as lineup goes, not having Jalen Chatfield. They slot, Morrow in there, Scott Morrow. He's a -3. I mean, analytically wise, he was really bad in the game, and I think that's what killed them. Shane Gostisbehere was not great in that game the other night as well, and they just have to be a lot better on their own end of the ice, and avoid taking stupid penalties like they did that ultimately cost them the game.
Man, I don't know. I'm also scared because the last 3 times they've been in this spot, they have not won a single game. So that worries me as well. But, man, they have to win it tonight.
It reminds me of, I think I said this to Chandler last night. Remember when the Minnesota Twins won, 14 straight playoff games without winning? But they were, getting in all the time. They would just, play the Yankees and lose and get swept in the ALDS. That's what this streak reminds me of. It's the only one I can think of where it's you make the playoffs or a certain round of it and just cannot figure it out when you get to said round.
You know how to take the reservation. You don't know how to keep the reservation, which is the most important part of the reservation process. You should watch Seinfeld, man. It's a great show.
I know.
So many references,
especially you work with Bone and Clip every day.
Every situation in life, you can go back to a Seinfeld episode.
Speaking of, did you happen to see who was courtside last night?
Larry David?
At Madison Square Garden. Larry David. A lot of celebrities.
Was he in the urinal with Muggsy Bogues?
No.
In the game?
He didn't trip Shaquille O'Neal either. But it would have been really funny if he tripped Brunson.
Those are Curb Your Enthusiasm references. You should also watch that, Sean.
Yes. So
then again, you have a lot of TV to watch from 1990 to now.
I'm actually getting back into Cheers right now. Rest in peace, Norm.
Norm.
Am I the Norm Peterson of guests on this show?
No.
Okay.
I don't even know what that means, but no, you're not.
I feel like hey, Zach is everyone yelling Norm.
Weren't they happy to see Norm when...
Correct.
Clip.
Was that unnecessary?
That was very unnecessary.
Was that wrong?
And he had just.
Should I not have said that?
And I will say he brought up a good point. Like the hey Zach is like the norm of cheers.
In a way.
Yeah.
No, Zach.
You just need a beer out there on the corner of the table.
Norman. Yeah, R.I.P. George Wendt. That was it's a tough loss.
Canes, you're not going there. Are you going to go see the Bird Dogs play?
I'd love to see our guy DB pitch.
So that's a no. So you will be covering
your alma mater, playing for a spot.
Softball?
Playing for a spot in the 4A state finals, the Conley Vikings.
I could actually say this and be correct. The Vikings.
You are correct.
Because I usually say Cleveland Vikings.
Why do they call it softball? The ball's hard.
Very.
There's got to be an answer to that, but I don't know it.
Because girls are soft? Is that what they're saying? Because I don't agree with that.
And plenty of.
Speaking of why do they call things?
Yeah.
I mentioned this to you at OTs last night. I heard you guys talking about the inventors of sports.
Yeah.
And the inventor of baseball is?
Abner Doubleday.
Why do they not call double headers double days?
Because... Yeah, I don't have a good answer for you.
Well, we never really got into like dissecting that because we went straight into Jim Rome's double play.
Double play. Yeah, I don't know, Sean. That's a great question.
No, it's one of those not really good reason for that doubleheader feels like something a sports writer came up with, like Grantland Rice or something, and it just stuck.
Yeah.
Tonight's game's postponed. We're set for a double day on Saturday.
Double header. Why is it a header? That's a good question. Why not like a double game? Like a double day would make sense.
Double day. Double day would make sense.
How about a twofer? We got a twofer today?
And it's a triple header. It's a triple header too. So for whatever reason, header just stuck with quadruple header. I mean, the header just stuck with that.
Do the Rampants play tonight?
Yes. So Rose Baseball plays tonight, 6 o'clock down in Fayetteville. They also have a chance to punch their ticket to the state finals in 3A. And then Conley, we'll see if they can get it done against Cleveland. We had Bailey's son send us video from game 1 of that game the other night. So shout out to Rhino for that.
Very cool.
Kendall Howard is the name to watch for Conley. Sophomore, great in the circle, great at the plate. I don't believe is committed anywhere yet. So,
all right.
But she's been stellar for them. We'll see if they can get it done.
Chandler, what would Bailey say if Rhino got kidnapped?
Give me back my son!
Thank you.
And that kind of deal.
And that
and that kind of thing. Seriously, y'all gotta shut up.
I'm gonna
No, turn the corner. Go. Stay in bounds.
I'm gonna pay the ransom and that kind of deal.
I'm not dumb.
He had that one. If he just
Get to the snap and put you down.
that's all he had to do. That's all.
Mike P says a pogo is better. Play one, get one. All right, we got a pogo coming today.
I don't think they were thinking that far ahead in the 1880s.
Yeah, probably not. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back more with Zach Kaplan, Pirate Radio Live's Norm, when we return.
Good afternoon, everybody.
I do like the idea, although you work a lot of Thursdays, right?
Yeah. Oh, just
if
showing
we
up.
could just have a giant mug of cold beer waiting for you when you come in.
I'm off next Thursday, so
all right,
we could do it then.
Might start a new trend.
All right.
Hey Zach.
Did you say hey to Hayden, by the way?
Yeah. I actually scared the bejesus out of her when I walked by. She did not realize I was here.
Chandler, yesterday she scared me. She was hiding behind the door when I walked in.
What were you trying to play a trick on him?
She was doing.
Were you trying to pull his leg?
Yeah, it's funny. I scare my roommates at the house sometimes. Done and dusted.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Anthony Santander. After this.
Anthony Santander.
Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry has been Greenville's premier dental practice for over 40 years. I am Dr. Chris Gateway, and our mission at Michaels & Gateway is to provide exceptional dental care with compassion, integrity, and innovation, ensuring every patient leaves with a healthy, confident smile. Doctors Michaels & Gateway are committed to providing an outstanding patient experience with every visit. Not only do we offer all your dental needs under one roof, in most cases, we can take care of those needs on the same day. Bring your smile to us at Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry.
Looking for your new favorite hangout? Come on down to Fish Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room in downtown Greenville, where the drinks are cold, the food is fire, and the fun never stops. Check us out every night at 7 for our special events. Tuesday night is Singo, Wednesday Hollywood Trivia, Thursday's Kahoot Night, and Fridays is Tunes and Taps starting at 7 p.m. Don't miss Yappy Hour, Thursday through Saturday, 4 to 7, where we serve up half-priced apps from the toolbox. Make sure to check out our new menu, featuring the taco wrap, North Carolina Cowboy flatbread, and buffalo loaded chips. Check out our Facebook page for more information. Fish Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room, where good times are always on tap.
Make things happen this year with the new John Deere. In just one visit to Quality Equipment, you'll find the right lawnmower, compact tractor, or Gator UTV that will save you time and money on your next project. Keep things running all season long with the help of our experienced parts and service team. Your new Deere isn't far away. Find current offers and budget-friendly packages at your local Quality Equipment with 36 locations across North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit QualityEquip.com to get started. That's QualityEquip.com.
North Carolina State Parks is celebrating the 50th anniversary of Jockey's Ridge State Park, June 5th through the 8th in Nags Head, North Carolina. Exciting educational activities will take place, including yoga on the dunes, kayak trips, big canoe trips, a sandcastle building contest, and a horseshoe competition. All activities are free to the public. Special events also include a drone show, a concert by the Connells on June 5th, and bubbly toasts at sunset. For tickets and a full schedule, visit jockey'sridge50.com.
Overtime's Tavern is officially open in downtown Greenville. Whether you're craving a cold drink, hot meal, or just a place to unwind with friends in a laid-back atmosphere, we've got you covered. Join us daily from 11 a.m. to midnight every day, or stick around for our late-night hours on the weekends. Follow Overtime Tavern on Facebook or Instagram for daily specials and events, including live music. OT's is right across from the Sheets on Charles Boulevard in downtown Greenville. Overtime's Tavern, where every hour feels like overtime.
This is Holt Nailers for my friends at Anson Belts, the belts that I wear. Go to AnsonBelt.com to find micro-adjustable holeless belts with over 30-plus options of a 1/4 inch apart instead of your typical 5 holes 1 inch apart, always giving you the perfect fit every time. If your waist fluctuates, Anson Belt is great because you can always find the perfect fit any time of the year. AnsonBelt.com. Over 10,000 combinations to choose from, a belt for every occasion, and the official belt of the Holt Nailor Show.
There have been many changes in the automotive world. At Phelps Chevrolet, the Phelps boys are here to take care of you. Mike, Daryl, and 4 of Mr. Phelps' grandsons, Wade, West, Allen, and Clay. You see, things at Phelps remain the same. The Phelps team has served Eastern North Carolina for over 50 years. We make your visit easy and fun. We are your neighbors, and that's what neighbors do. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Like Mr. Phelps' great-granddaughter says, come in and get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet at PhelpsChevrolet.com.
If you're looking for a delicious home-cooked country breakfast or lunch, look no further than CD's Grill. CD's Grill in Winterville has the best country cooking around. Start your day with CD's mouth-watering homemade cheese biscuits, eggs cooked to order, and pancakes so big and fluffy there's no way you leave hungry. Open Monday through Friday from 5:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. and Saturday from 5:30 to 11 a.m. CD's has lunch specials and an all-you-can-eat salad bar. Stop by, say hey to owner Jason Brown and the CD's crew. CD's Grill, 111 West Fire Tower Road in Winterville. CD's Grill, the best country cooking around.
Pirate Radio.
They'll never forget the eccentric pirate Bonnet and his savage, insane, vengeful pirate horde. He's a pirate, a real proper pirate.
A proper pirate.
That man is a fearsome pirate if I've ever seen one. Yep.
Yeah, he's definitely a pirate.
The voice of the pirate nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. At Langley Contracting, they are the superior roofing specialists. Whether it's a new roof or repairing your old one, they've got you covered. And best of all, they handle all your insurance claims. They're locally owned and right here in Eastern North Carolina, licensed and insured, and have a 25-year roof warranty. They can handle your gutter installation too, so everything is seamless. Give them a call or visit them online at 214roof.com for your free estimate today. Langley Contracting, your superior roofing specialist. And Quality Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer with 36 locations to serve you. Quality Equipment is open in Winterville next to Sam's Club, or visit qualityequip.com to find the location near you. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Chan Man, Zach Kaplan, Hayden's here, Shirley. J-Bone's been hard at work today. He's around somewhere. The big dog, Glenn Griffin, doing some things. There he is, wearing the CM Punk shirt today. Zach, how long are you in Greenville?
How long have I been in Greenville?
No, how long are you going to be here?
How long am I going to be here?
Yeah. Because I know that this is a stepping stone for you. And you don't really care about us.
Jordan Hudson. We don't want to talk about this, right?
It's an uncomfortable conversation, but I don't want to get too attached to you.
My contract's up in October, to answer your question.
All right.
But
are you looking to re-sign?
I'm open to the idea of it.
All right.
Are you uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Why are you uncomfortable?
It's not.
I'm giving the same answer if I would that I would on air as
you
off
got
air.
stones, man. But no, it's more of I'm getting upset thinking about him leaving.
I know, but you got to have that in the back of your mind that
it's too late.
These number twos aren't here forever, man.
I'm attached, man.
I know. It's I don't want you to go. I want you to stay. So
I'm not open.
Chandler and I want you to re-sign with WNCT Channel 9. Now, Brian Bailey, I don't know how he feels about it.
I would say yes, and that kind of deal.
And that kind of thing. But I'm sure our Pirate Radio listeners. Oh, Joel says he's leaving ENC. What do you mean? Why?
What?
Is Joel your agent?
No, our sales manager is actually named Joel, so I wonder if that's him. I don't think it is, but it'd be really funny if it was.
Where would be your dream locale to do sports?
I mean, I gotta say Boston.
Yeah,
right?
up there.
It'd be kind of stupid to say anything else, but and that's with family and
it could be
friends too. But
College Station,
Texas.
Sorry, Happy Valley. Where do they play?
Oh, State College.
State College, not College Station.
Actually,
don't you want to go and be an Aggie, man?
Sorry.
They the TV stations in that market are based in Altoona, which is that's like if the TV stations for Greenville were based in if they were all based in New Bern, basically. It's like
about weird 45 minutes away or something.
It's like a weird dynamic there, and neither of them are really that into sports as much as you would think for how crazy people love sports in Central PA.
Jamie wants a succession plan. He says BB retires, Zach takes over.
Yeah.
I like Jerry was saying we were upset at the thought of Chandler leaving for Wolfpack Radio last year.
Every day Chandler misses, I'm scared he's making the trip to Raleigh. But
am I doing sales stuff or am I doing negotiation stuff with different stations?
Chandler's been ringing that bell, folks.
I have been ringing the bell.
Ring my bell.
All right.
No, that's the answer though. I'm up in October. I'm not opposed to.
What do you sign? 1 year deals, 2 year deals?
I might have to hire you to be my agent, Clip.
What'd you do? 1 year deal? How does it work? I've never been in the TV.
You can do. It kind of depends. With sports, it's a little different because ours is so seasonal. Like if we're losing a news reporter, it's not like losing them now versus losing them in July really matters. But with our jobs, it's now versus football season versus
I think you came in the middle of football season, right?
Yeah. By the way,
October.
We do need to fix that. We need sports people's contracts to be up in
July.
June or July.
Yeah.
Not October, because you come in and you're like, all right, go cover 8 high school games.
How lost were you when you got here?
How lost is he now?
Yeah, I was gonna say, have I figured it out yet? I don't know. I'm still waiting to be found. No, I had at least known from the start of September in 23 that I was coming here, so I was watching Touchdown Friday every week, and at least keeping an eye on which schools were doing well and trying to like look them up on the map, but you don't know until you really drive around Eastern North Carolina and figure out where Highway 43 is versus 17 versus 11, all those type of and that kind of deal.
And that kind of thing. Shirley, can I say hello to Corey Glore real quick? Hello, Corey. Because Corey, hello, just got fired up in Clearwater.
I bet he did.
3-run bomb by the Green Wave has now put them up 9-6, and they are 1 out away from sending this thing to the 9th inning with a 3-run lead. So Tulane, all they do in Clearwater is win, no matter what. And right now they have the number 1 team on the ropes.
Let's get that number 1 seed out of here.
Yeah, that would send them to the losers bracket, make them play an extra day, even if they do advance.
Yep.
That's more arms you use, more time in that Florida heat that you are experiencing. So this would put Tulane on to Saturday in the semis. East Carolina with a monster opportunity coming up today against Charlotte 47 minutes after the conclusion of this game. If the Pirates win, they are off Friday, get to set up their arms again, get to rest, and be ready for a Saturday semifinal game.
And then we'll be back where we are expected to be, and that would be huge. And the question is going into this tournament, can the Pirates be consistent? Because they have not been consistent all year long. So we'll see if they can pick up where they left off on Tuesday night, because they look really great. They look like the Pirates of old. So can they get it done tonight? And if UTSA loses and the Pirates win, you're really in the driver's seat. And you might be even in an Uber.
That's true. I'll believe it when I see it, to be honest. Like, I was talking with Jared and Hayden during the break, got like a little bit of a Debbie Downer, but like, haven't they done this all year?
You were talking baseball with Hayden?
And Jared, yeah.
Okay. What did Hayden say? Does she have any insight?
Well, she's happy Hayden, so she's always feeling good about the Pirates. And Jared tried to convince her if they win today, they're going to Omaha. So,
well, a few steps in between there.
I said, there would be a few wins you'd have to get between now and then. They just haven't strung it together all year. I mean, hey, this is the time to do it, but I mean, are they just going to magically figure it? If they can really if they're like really going to be a flip a switch team, this would be a pretty stunning way to do it this weekend.
So no Ethan Norby will be a change from the other night, but Pirate Bats got rolling early. I guess they'll be the road team again today, I would assume, due to the standings.
Yeah, because Charlotte's the 2 seed.
But hell, the way they do these things, you never know.
I guess we'll see the same infield that we saw the other day with Burris at second, Dixon at short. So
why did that take so long? Is there a good answer for why? Like, I watched Braden Burris all of last spring play outstanding defense in the infield when he wasn't pitching. Even when he was pitching, he was playing great defense. I know that's two-way baseball and not, high level D1 college baseball, but like, why did that take so long?
I don't have an answer for you other than hashtag God's plan, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, I like to go with that when I'm out of answers.
Can I follow that up with another question?
You just did.
Dang it.
It was a 2-question question.
There's another tidbit to this game today, and that's that if Cliff Godwin wins, he becomes the all-time winningest coach in East Carolina baseball history.
And guess who gets to conduct the post-game interview with him?
The guy that will be second place.
Yeah. Cliff.
Coach, congratulations.
Congratulations, Cliff.
You beat me.
You're better than me. You're a better man than me and a better coach than me. But you're not a bigger pirate as I am.
And this was God's plan.
Coach O, legend.
That would be something if he...
Cliff Godwin, future legend. Can you be a legend when you're active? I guess LeBron James, is he a legend?
Brian Bailey is a legend.
Brian Bailey is a legend. Very well said.
If East Carolina wins this tournament...
Of course, is a statistic you can look at.
Yep.
If East Carolina wins this tournament, just send us to Corvallis. Send us with Gary Overton.
Oh, God. Can you imagine? If they go all the way...
I said that because...
They would get
we thought... I just say that... Hold on. I say that because Coach O got lost, we felt like, or was never coming back from Corvallis that one year.
Yeah. And he, returned with a big, long beard and holes in his clothing.
He looks like he may have been on an odyssey of some sort.
He lived in the woods.
It's like Castaway.
Yeah.
Did he have a volleyball with him?
He had a baseball.
And he had like beavers attached to him. He had like 4 beavers on him. He was Beaver Man.
Coach, what's wrong with you?
I am one with the beavers.
Are you okay? Are you okay, Coach?
Leave it to Beaver.
Leave it to Beaver. So the Pirates lost game 1 against Charlotte earlier this year.
Got Gillespie
6-0, and Blake Gillespie, 8 innings, 5 hits, no runs. Ethan Norby got touched up a little bit in that one, 5 1/3, 5 runs earned on 6 hits. The Pirates lost a close one, 3-2 on that Saturday, and then blew out Charlotte on Sunday, 12-4. So they have beaten this team very similar to the South Florida series, where they blew them out, got blown out, and then lost the title.
And they have not put out a lineup yet. Any guesses as to who we think they would throw to? I know you probably throw everybody, but any guesses who they would throw today?
Jarrett says
Lance.
Williams?
Yeah.
Lance Williams?
Yeah.
I'm working on my ENC accent.
It
needs work.
Lance. You go Lance. Nick Moran.
I like Lance. I could.
I don't think we see Jake Hunter, but did we see him start a game last weekend?
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Does Pirates win today? Pirates win Saturday. Does Ethan Norby throw on Sunday?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
I think you have to.
I think you go Norbs.
How could? Because then you can line them up to throw Friday, so you'd have normal rest, wouldn't you? If you pitched 5 days later, if you threw Friday in a regional, in game 1 of a regional.
Yeah, but he's usually going from Friday to the next Friday. So
for sure, but I mean, but
that's still plenty of rest.
Season's on the line.
But that's still plenty of rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're going Tuesday to Sunday, and then Sunday to Friday.
Joel says, has Zach had Chandlers in other spots? Jamie said he's left a string of broken-hearted Chons from Wyoming to Ohio. And Joel says, it's just biz, nothing personal, he tells Chon as he drives off.
Just another one of his victims.
No, I actually shut the door in his face, Michael Corleone style, like you did with Kay at the end of Godfather 1.
Have you had bro down, ho downs in other places like you have with us, Zach? Or are we your best friends? Post college best friends.
Well, you guys are obviously my best friends. I mean, This isn't even a discussion.
But you do still like.
Besides the limited times that I've gotten mad at Clip at Trivia, which I can,
which seems to happen a lot lately. In fact, you seem to be more mad in general lately.
Do I?
Yeah.
Am I strung out?
I think
A little bit.
Maybe you need a summer break. Maybe you need a little beach time or something.
He went yesterday.
I literally went yesterday.
Well, that didn't work.
Yeah, I was about to say I literally went yesterday. I had to take advantage of these off days.
I don't know, man. You're just kind of on edge. It might have something to do with the Celtics losing.
That was a debacle. That was just games 1 and 2. Like I'm not even as like the series itself and the Tatum injury is one thing, but it's games 1 and 2 that just I'm still mad about.
Well, Knicks fans are mad about last night.
Oh, God, aren't they?
Another blown lead in these playoffs by a home team.
Is that I was debating this in a group text. Is that game by itself worse than the Celtics games 1 and 2 combined?
Yes.
No, Celtics were 1 seed, predicted to win the whole thing.
They were up 9 with the final minute to go.
All right, Celtics were up 20 in both games.
In the third.
As the 1 seed.
I think you could see it coming a little more, especially in game 2. Like you guys were with me for game 2. I was never comfortable that entire game. But I think last night is worse because of what that fan base has been through for 50 years without a title, 25 without a finals appearance. I think last night might be worse.
It was bad.
They were deflated. I mean,
They were showing the highlights after the game, and we were like, we had forgotten how much they were down with like 2 minutes left. With 2 minutes left, it was like a 12-point game.
Yeah, you and I were sitting there.
45 seconds, it was like a 9-point game.
How did they lose this game? It was unbelievable.
And instead of being up 1-0, having a chance to go to Indiana up 2-0 with a chance, now they have to fight to even be tied and split it, going back to Indiana.
We'll see the Pirates, though, today. So I guess Norby and Young are the only guys who really went long the other day. So you really have everybody else, right? You would think.
Yes, sir.
We'll see what happens.
In a good spot. Tulane in a good spot right now, up 9-6. Guy showing some chest hair with his jersey buttoned halfway down his belly. And Tulane has a 9-6 lead, 9th inning Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by the Buck. Zach, we say goodbye to you. Enjoy the high school action tonight, and we'll check out the highlights on WNCT Channel 9.
And hopefully we're recapping Game 5 for the Canes next Thursday.
Man.
Fingers crossed. Bailey and I will be there if the series gets that far.
Really need to win tonight. We'll take a break, come back. Big Hour 2 on tap. You will hear from ECU head women's basketball coach Kim McNeill and former Pirate linebacker, now the Jack Man for RFK Racing, Brad Keselowski. Dustin Lineback will join us on the program. That's on the way after this.
For pest control that packs a punch, BAM! Call on the experts at BAM Pest Control. Attention Greenville, BAM Pest Control is here to protect what matters most. Whether it's your business, your home, or your peace of mind. They don't just eliminate pests, they knock them out. BAM Pest Control is #1 in insect control, rodent control, and yard services like fire ants and mosquitoes. BAM! You're insect-free, safe, and comfortable. Call the experts at BAM Pest Control on Hooker Road in Greenville. 252-751-3160. BAM!
Hey Greenville, John McCormick from the Yard Gnomes and ambassador of the Greenville Museum of Art. Get ready for the summer shindig. Wednesday, June 11th, 6 to 9 p.m. Morgan & Company Live, Nash Hot Chicken, drinks, art, baseball, raffles, family fun, right here at our museum. Shouldn't you dig it? For tickets and info, visit gmoa.org/summer-shindig. Don't miss it at the Greenville Museum of Art.
The crack of the bat. The roar of the crowd. Baseball is back in Kinston. Come cheer on your Down East Bird Dogs.
Watch the Down East Bird Dogs play.
The crack of the bat. The roar of the crowd. Baseball is back in Kinston. Come cheer on your Down East Bird Dogs.
Watch the Down East Bird Dogs play.
At East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Greenville, we've decided to give you the maximum amount of savings we can this summer. It's Employee Pricing Plus. You pay the exact same thing as a factory employee. There has truly never been a better time to buy. Come check out the Ram 1500 at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep and get savings up to $12,000 with Employee Pricing Plus on Motor Trend's Truck of the Year. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep still has 2024 Ram Heavy Duties in stock. Save up to $15,000 with Employee Pricing Plus on the longest-lasting heavy-duty work trucks in the market. A 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee is now $8,000 off with Employee Pricing Plus, and save up to $5,000 on a new 2025 Jeep Wrangler.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep, across from the Cockerell in Greenville. Come see us!
Offers do not include tax, title, and $8.99 admin fee. See dealer for details.
Looking for bold flavors and badass deals? Get to Bad Daddy's Burger Bar in Greenville. Right now, the Badass Margarita is just $8. Yeah, you heard that right. Feast on the mouthwatering burrito burger, dig into their elote street corn dip, and treat yourself to the churro crunch shake. Wash it all down with BD's Amber Ale, just $4 all day, every day. Or sip one of their signature cocktails, like Southern Peach Tea or Daddy's Dragonberry. And don't miss half-off appetizers the last 2 hours before they close. It's not badass if it's not Bad Daddy's.
Here at the Holistic Company, we know that life throws you its fair share of curveballs, like passing that drug test. Congrats. Now you can finally relax, kick back, and, well, light one up. You've earned it. And whether you've had one of those weeks, or maybe your mother-in-law's in town and you're one passive-aggressive comment away from needing a vacation. If this sounds like you, then come visit our team here at the Holistic Company to help you find the perfect products to ease your stress and promote relaxation. Order our products online at theholisticco.com or visit us at 5th and Evans in Greenville or at one of our other 2 locations in Fremont or Smithfield. The Holistic Company.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today, and then you hear
Warren's hot dogs.
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for $7.50 would be awesome.
Warren's hot dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's hot dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live on a Thursday busy show. Appreciate you chat gangers for chiming in today. Always a fun hour with Zach Kaplan. Got the Chan Man here, Jared Watkins, Shirley Rhodes, Hay's here, the big dog Glenn Griffin, and a lot of guests to get to, including Kim McNeill, ECU head women's basketball coach. We do plan to talk to Coach Mike Schwartz soon once all of the new additions are official on the roster, so we'll check in with him this summer as well. But wanted to get Coach McNeill on to talk about her summer camps, also tie a bow on last season and catch us up on what the new roster could look like for ECU women's basketball. Myself, Shirley Rhodes, talked to her earlier today. Here is that. All right, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, head women's basketball coach of your East Carolina Pirates, Kim McNeill. Got Shirley Rhodes here, Jared Watkins producing, and Coach, I appreciate you joining us today. How you doing?
No problem. I always love coming out and spending some time with you guys.
And you said it was a busy summer, so thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time. Before we get to the summer and moving on to next season, just to kind of tie a bow on last season, winning record, 8-10 in conference play. Probably not what you wanted or as much as you wanted, but how would you kind of summarize last season for you?
I definitely think we underachieved. You know, I thought we had a roster that could have competed a little bit more in conference play. But if you look at some of those games, 3 of them, we lost like right at the end of the game. You know, at Temple, you know, we're up by 3 or 4 with 3 minutes left to go. You know, we take North Texas to overtime. Actually 2, which we love playing overtime with North Texas for some reason. I don't know why. And then we're up by 10, you know, with 6 minutes left to go in the game at home here against South Florida. You know, so those games go the other way, and you have a winning record in conference play, and you get 20 wins, and you're probably, you know, 3rd in the league instead of 7th.
Coach, man, you talked about the new norm off the air before you joined us, and that is roster turnover and having a lot of new players each year. I feel like you did a good job comparably to maybe some other coaches of adapting to the portal early on and making sure that you identified what was out there. I feel like ECU women's basketball has been hit pretty hard lately of players exiting via the transfer portal. So I guess now kind of catch us up on this roster. How different will it look this season compared to last season with all the exits and additions?
Whew. Where do we start? 9 new players.
Wow.
Never had that in my career. 3 returnees. I had a lot of seniors, you know, from the jump. I had 6 seniors, so we knew we had a lot exiting anyway. But, yeah, we had done a pretty good job dealing with the portal, you know, up until this point. But, you know, our league in women's basketball, the American, was the most hit league from the Power Fours. You know, they just came and like vultures and just suck them up. Obviously, you know, Maya Joyner, you know, is moving on to LSU, and had a couple other kids. Kaya Miller's going to play at Georgetown. Pooter, which is Devin, she's going to DePaul. So pretty much all my kids went up, and 9 new kids. 5 of them are freshmen. You know, I've always been really fond of freshmen. I do. I just think that's how you build a roster. But, you know, I don't know now. You know, these kids, you know, freshmen are leaving, and you got to look at recruiting now as almost a 1-year deal.
Yep.
You know, you can't really count on kids to stay 2 and 3, 4 years as they used to in the past. You know, Sania Johnson, Morgan Mosley, you know, I told them what they did was an anomaly. They stayed at ECU for 5 years. I don't know if you'll ever see that again. But extremely excited about this group. We're going to look a little different than what we've looked in the past. You know, we've been really post dominant. I think the last couple of years we've had the best post players in the league. I think that's going to change a little bit this year. We probably going to be a little bit more guard heavy. I'm really excited about our guards. I think we'll be much more up tempo. Kids can shoot the ball, more playmakers. Probably play a lot more 4 out. At times probably 5 out. My post players are more guard oriented. But super excited. They'll be here on June 8th, and we're going to hit the ground rolling.
You know, I wanted to ask you because, you know, there have been coaches throughout the American, not just East Carolina, but throughout the American that have talked about in various sports about how these Power 4 schools have been coming in and basically, for lack of a better word, poaching players and enticing them to come to their schools. You know, the NIL, you know, money has been largely talked about. When you're having to recruit, and especially, you know, when you have an exodus of players where you need to get more than just, say, 2 or 3, I mean, how challenging is that, especially with now that everything is connected with that NIL money? How challenging is it to get someone to buy into what you're doing here at East Carolina?
It was extremely challenging. A couple of the young ladies are kids that we recruited in the past.
Okay.
So Taylor Barner, a young lady from the Raleigh area, went to Memphis. Her senior year went to Panther Creek. Senior year tore her ACL, so didn't play at Memphis last year. But I was on her hard and heavy. And so she decided to come back home, made the right choice this time to come to East Carolina and put that purple and gold on. So there was a previous relationship there. Kiana Rembrandt is another young lady from the Raleigh area, excuse me, who was at Charlotte. Decided to spend her last and final season here at East Carolina. She originally went to Illinois out of high school, then transferred to Charlotte. She's finally made the right decision as well, coming back here. And then the other 2 young ladies, we had Savannah Brooks, a young lady from Coastal Carolina who I think Pirate Nation is really going to like. Just plays both ends of the floor really extremely hard, can score the ball, play defense. Didn't know her, but developed a good relationship very quickly. And then the other one, Kennedy Fauntleroy, is a young lady from the D.C. area who's transferring to us from Arizona State. Coach Jason and Coach Jeff have previous relationships with her and the family. So a lot of kids that we get off the portal are kids that maybe we recruited before or somebody on our staff coached or knew the family. So there are previous relationships there. But, you know, this year was really, really hard because, as you guys know, that the house settlement, you know, if it goes through with revenue share, you know, everybody's throwing out tons of money. And Power 4, they just have a lot of money. They have more money than they know what to do with. And obviously here at East Carolina, we just don't have that type of money. So, you know, right from the jump, you know, you say 1 or 2 things and then the money talks happen. And if kids are talking high money, I don't waste my time.
Kim McNeill joining us today, and I love the stories about the kids kind of going away for college maybe and then coming back home, like you said, and you just can't burn any bridges. There's 2 players on ECU's football team now that left East Carolina a couple years ago and came back, so you just never know, right?
Yeah.
So how about, and Shirley's a Farmville Central Jag, so big My fan, and then she goes down to LSU. In those cases, is that just the player decides and doesn't have any communication with you? Are there any talks about, like, Coach, I'm thinking of entering the portal, or is it basically now the players have the ability to kind of do what they want?
I mean, they can do whatever they want. You know, it depends on the relationship that you have with the players.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's been, you know, Mama's talks every summer,
Yeah.
you know, of leaving. And she finally, you know, got the nerve, you know, to do it this year. You know, I wish her well. She did unbelievable things for us here the last 3 years, help us win a championship. You know, her freshman year really helped to change the culture and put East Carolina women's basketball on the map. You know, so just wanted to, you know, her last and final year go and play at the P4 level and see what she can do. So I wish her all the best. I guess she likes purple and gold and likes playing for head coaches by the name of Kim.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
How many Final Fours have you been to?
I'd rather hang out with Kim McNeill than Kim Mulkey.
That is true.
That's me personally.
I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah.
That is true.
Coach, with the guard-oriented team you plan to have this year, it sounds like it fits well with what you do defensively because you create so many turnovers. Naturally, you want to get out and run anyway, right? So, it sounds like you like this fit with the team. You're putting together on the offensive side, already combining what you do defensively.
Yeah, definitely. This is a really athletic team, not a big team. Last 2 years we've been pretty big with the Weich twins and my. Obviously, our post players that we have coming in this year are a little bit more mobile, can do a lot of different things. I'm really excited about a couple of freshman post players I got coming in. A young lady by the name of Anaya Zealous from West Virginia, about a 6'2" kid. It's going to put you a little bit in the mind frame of a mama. Not as her ball handling is not as, I guess flashy as you would say with Mama, but an unbelievable athlete, can run the floor, finish with her left or right hand, can stretch it to the 3. Just a really good player who had some Power 4 offers, but wanted to come to a place where she felt like she could contribute right away. And as I said, Kiana Rembrandt, another post player that, second team all conference in our league and averaged 11 points, 5 rebounds, so she's already a proven kid in our league. But our guards, we're going to really work this off season. I didn't feel like we played enough in transition last year. And I'm really fond of playing in transition. So right from the jump, when we start practice this summer, we're going to work on just getting out in transition and going, whether it's rim runners by the post, whether it's, 3-on-2, 2-on-1s by our guards. We have better shooters this year, so we can shoot some transition threes, which I love if you have the personnel to do that. We just haven't had that in the past. But we're definitely going to do those things. But defensively, they won't get back to being very scrappy. We fell off a little bit defensively this year. We gave up too many points to some teams. But I think we're going to be scrappy and aggressive, and we're just going to open up our transition game because we're going to force more steals and be able to get out in transition.
Has the game, in your opinion, maybe gotten away a little bit, or at least this was something that I noticed when I watch a lot of women's college basketball, is maybe the bigs are now becoming more, I don't want to say smaller, because you're still going to have that height, but they become more of a hybrid player, whereas they're not strictly just set up on the block and then pass low and then have them, try to get an easy bucket that way, where you're seeing more of those post players go smaller because you're looking for speed rather than just a body there down low. Have you seen that transition in college basketball from just your traditional bigs to more of a hybrid one?
Well, I think at the Power 4 level, like you look at the South Carolinas, the LSUs, the UConns, those kind of guys, they can get those bigs, that can sit down and play with their back to the basket. But a lot of kids don't want to play that way anymore. Everybody wants to shoot the 3. Everybody wants to shoot the 3. Everybody wants to put the ball on the floor. For us, because we are such a defensive-minded team and we play our matchup and we press, a lot of kids that are 6'4", 6'5" can't move laterally that way. I think we were obviously extremely lucky to have the Weich twins, to have Amaya Joyner who could move laterally and also had size. And I think that gave teams in our league a fit because they also wanted to play with their backs to the basket as well. Sometimes for us, the way we play, 6'2" kids might be the ones that can move mobily. And obviously that's the way we're going to look this year, more so 6'2", 6'1", versus 6'3", 6'4", what we had last year. But a lot of kids, like I said, and just watching the NBA last night, bigs are shooting threes. Everybody wants to shoot the 3. Everybody wants to put the ball on the floor. So nobody wants to play with their back to the basket anymore.
Coach, we'll talk about your camps. And yesterday on the show we had former Pirate football player Phoenix Evans on. His daughter is at South Central and plays basketball and volleyball. Brooke Evans, who sounds like a really good player. But he was promoting a football camp, boys and girls, because girls are getting into flag football. Yeah, and it's just pretty cool to see the opportunities now that the girls have in the football game. But women's basketball popularity seems to be maybe at an all-time high. A lot of folks are talking about that now, and women's sports in general. But how about your camps and promoting the women's game? I know you really want to do that.
Yeah, well, we have our 2 camps that we have every year. We have our day camp, which is just lots of fun. We have the little bitties in there. They come till, half a day, and then the older kids. And this camp is more so for kids that are kind of learning, the game of basketball, want to play basketball. And that camp is from June 16th through the 19th. And then the following week is more so for the high school kids, the ones that are a little bit more advanced, a shooting camp that we're doing from June 25th through the 26th. I think it's going to be a great opportunity. All my new kids will be there, all the 9 new players, along with the returnees and Bobby, Jayla, and Anjane. So I think it'll be a great opportunity for our fans to come out and, get to know our players, and then also have some good basketball, learn some fundamentals, and hopefully we can help the older kids, sharpen up on their shots.
That'd be great. Maybe some future Pirates will be attending that. Where do you go to see the best players now to recruit? I mean, how much are you in high schools? How much is it like the showcase, AAU style stuff? Where do you do your recruiting most?
We do both. We do high school and we do AAU. I think you get a more of a true evaluation AAU-wise. I think, the difference between men and women's basketball, if you go to a men's basketball game, there's multiple kids on the floor, that are going to go somewhere and play college. Normally for us, it's one player. So it's kind of hard to evaluate in high school because you're like, okay, they're dominating here, but they really aren't playing against anybody. Versus in the summertime, in AAU ball, pretty much everybody on the floor on the team, is going to play somewhere. So you get a better true evaluation of their talent level.
So we've seen South Carolina here in the past, a home and home. Do you got like UConn or LSU or somebody rolling in this year? What's the
Yeah, we've got the schedule set. There's still some contracts, that need to be signed. We had a really a local ACC opponent coming, and it interfered with football. The date that we had set, we had a home football game on that Saturday.
Oh, goodness, man.
Yeah, so we're not allowed to play Saturday games when we have a home football game. So we had to cancel that and move that to next year.
Okay.
So we won't have a big team coming in this year, but we will play some Power 4 teams on the road at a neutral site. So we'll start that big game back up next year.
You certainly don't shy away from that. You enjoy the big games.
I do it because, I go back to the year we won a championship. When we went down to Texas, our kids were, they were like deer in headlights. They had never experienced that type of size, that physicality, the 10,000 people in the stands. And so I said, ever since we had that experience, that we need to put our kids in that type of environment at least once a year so that when we do get back to the NCAA tournament, it's not a shocker.
I wanted to ask you not so much specific questions, but more like big picture questions, mainly because, with the popularity, as you mentioned, Clip, with the WNBA, it's really kind of going through the roof. The popularity of women's college basketball in general has really gone through the roof. How excited are you to see, fans coming to see games that maybe in the past they wouldn't have even entertained the thought of buying a ticket to go see a women's college basketball game? So much so that I feel that the parity between, say, your top 4 or 5 teams in the nation versus everybody else is starting to close a little bit. I mean, how excited are you for the game to see this level of popularity?
Yeah, it's awesome. Last year when we went down and played at South Carolina, we get to the game about 2 hours before, and there was already a line wrapped around the building. And even though I knew, probably 99% of those people were there to see South Carolina, it was just still awesome to be a part of that. Because I know when I played, back in the 90s, that didn't happen. So it's extremely exciting to see that. It's exciting to see more WNBA games on ESPN, you get up in the morning and you watch First Take. They're talking about WNBA. They're talking about Angel Reese. They're talking about Caitlin Clark. They're talking about women's basketball, and that's something that hadn't happened in the past. So, do we still have a long ways to go? Yeah, we do, because we need more teams. There's a lot of good players out there, and they created 2 new teams this year. We probably need about 4 more because there's not enough roster slots. There's a lot of good kids out there that deserve an opportunity to play at the next level and not have to go, to a foreign country to play, to keep playing. There's a lot of great players that got cut this year. Diamond DeShields got cut.
Yep. Caitlin Chen got
cut. A lot of good players got cut, and you look at it, normally if you aren't like in the first round of the draft pick, you don't make a team. That's crazy. So second and third round players normally don't make a team. That's extremely unfortunate. So we do need more teams as some of these players can continue to play. But no, it's exciting, especially exciting here at ECU. When I first got here in 2019, goodness, I could count the bodies in the stands, literally like 50 people in the stands. Now, obviously, it's taken a lot of hard work, us getting out in the community and getting people to come to the games. But and obviously, winning helps. But it definitely makes a difference when you look up and you see people in the stands supporting you.
Are you opposed to having, like, say something like, the NBA has like the G League, the developmental league.
Yeah.
Are you in favor or opposed of having a developmental league somewhere between the WNBA, as you said, with the shortage of teams? So a lot of people are getting cut. So their choices are they go into the workforce, they go overseas to play, or if they're lucky enough, they might get signed by Unrivaled, which is the 3-on-3, league. But really, outside of that, there's nothing else. Yeah. So in your opinion, would a developmental league be more beneficial to the WNBA if they were to create one?
It definitely would. I'm definitely in favor of that. And I take one person for an example is Danae McNeill.
Mm-hmm.
She averaged 22 points a game for us her senior year, 18 as a junior, and she got an opportunity. She didn't get drafted, but she got an opportunity to go overseas and played in Israel. But obviously the war was going on, so she was terrified. Mm-hmm. So she came back home and got an opportunity to go to Mexico about a month or so ago. But that's a kid that should have been playing in like a developmental league, where she could get the experience, get stronger, continue to work on her three-point shot where, her career might be over. And this is a kid who was 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved Player, first team All-Conference 2 years in a row in a very good league that averaged 22 points a game that isn't getting an opportunity to play, at the next level.
Kim McNeill joining us. You can go to Kim McNeill basketball camps at ECU.com and sign up for those camps coming up in June. And Kim, we're up against it, so we got to let you go. I feel like we could go another hour.
Oh, I could talk.
I know.
You and me both.
But let's do it again. But appreciate you joining us today. And I don't know, what's your message for the Pirate Nation? Still a ways to go before basketball, but what's your off-season message to the fans
get
out
excited, Pirate Nation. We're going to be a fast, up-tempo team. A lot of different faces, but some faces I think you're really going to enjoy watching play. Look out for us this summer in the community. We're going to be out doing a lot of things and hope to see you guys in November.
And you want to brag on your kids real quick? How are they doing with everything?
Yeah, Caden's in his final year of Greenville Little League. Can you believe that? 12-year-old. I think he's got 11 more games left. I can't believe it. He's having a great year. I think he's hit about 8 dingers, as they like to say, dingers. Yep. And then Gabby, she played travel volleyball for the first time this year here in Greenville. Had a great year at that, and then played middle school basketball and volleyball. So they're keeping me busy.
Well, I hear they're great athletes, but more importantly, people tell me they're awesome kids. So good work there.
Sometimes.
There is ECU head women's basketball coach Kim McNeill. A lot of new faces will be on that women's roster this year. We hope to check in with Mike Schwartz soon and get a off-season report from him. We got a final in Clearwater.
Hello.
Tulane knocks off UTSA 10-6, I believe, that final. So Tulane will play in the semis on Saturday, UTSA in the losers bracket on Friday. I think I got the final call from Corey Glore here. Yeah, that didn't really translate that great. But I love Corey in the AAC promo. Every time you see it on ESPN Plus, just yells, "Can you believe it?"
And a few years ago, when he was calling for East Carolina, he had this call.
Unbelievable!
And then he said he was safe.
Can you believe it?
And then he said he was safe.
Safe.
Hold on, I gotta find it.
Safe.
I was trying to find it, and then you hauled off and called for the one that I just happened to. Shut up, Chandler.
I believe this was when East Carolina knocked off Charlotte in a regional.
Good
2021.
omen. Good omen. We need to take a break anyway. We need to get to our interview with Dustin Lineback. But Big win for Tulane.
Out of nowhere. Good Lord, give me a heart attack. Random.
Do you believe it? You said good win for Tulane.
Congrats to the Fighting Corey Glowers. We'll take a break, come back, have more for you. Oh, that means East Carolina 424 plus 47.
And I do believe I said 515.
You said 517.
Oh, dang.
So Shirley is going to be pretty close. I said 454. Jarrett his brain was in a pretzel. He said the game would last 4 hours, yet he had it lasting under 3, and ECU's game starting at 4:45.
Give me my flowers.
We'll take a break, come back, have more for you. Pirate Radio Live on a Thursday after this.
The price is always right at Doug Henry of Greenville. And on the last Sunday of every month, Doug Henry is open. Your weekend just got a little easier when you're looking for a car because you can shop at Doug Henry of Greenville on Sundays. Visit Doug Henry for the biggest selection of used cars. Doug Henry is easy to find on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Memorial Drive and always online at DougHenryGreenville.com. Mention Pirate Radio for $500 off any vehicle. Right on the corner and always right on the price. Doug Henry of Greenville. Go Pirates!
Tired of the same old gym routine? Rebel Fitness is here to change the game. Whether you're throwing punches, kicking it in kickboxing, or mastering MMA, we bring the heat with specialized group classes that make fitness feel like a fight you actually want to win. At Rebel Fitness, we're not just about lifting weights, we're about lifting spirits. Join a community of badasses who are rebelling against the norm and crushing their fitness goals. Sweat, lift, move, fuel, fight for a healthier, happier you. Rebel Fitness, where fitness meets fun. Join the movement today. Visit us at 3700 Charles Boulevard or visit rebelfitnessnc.com.
It seems like places are giving you less and less food these days.
Yes, Mama, it's called shrinkflation. Oh, shrinkflation is just another word for robbery. But this is shackflation. What? Dang, that's huge. Extra pepperoni, extra cheese on that thing.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and get a Shackaroni pizza for only $12.99. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates!
The biggest and best Memorial Day sale is on at Bostic Sub Furniture. Store-wide savings on furniture for every room, plus hundreds of items in stock with 6 months special financing. Plus, get a discount equal to 2 times the sales tax on beautiful living room, dining room, and bedroom furniture, or 60 months special financing. Sleep better and save on a new brand name mattress with up to 60 months special financing. Don't miss the incredible Memorial Day sale on now at Bostic Sub Furniture.
Is your office printer on the fritz? Don't wait days for a repair. This is Walker Allen Voliva with CopyPro, where we promise fast 3-hour service on all of your copy equipment. No need to press 1 for English for an overseas service line. All of our calls are answered right here in Greenville. Plus, we offer a free office printing analysis to help you cut cost and boost efficiency. We'll show you exactly how to save money on ink, toner, and energy. For reliable, fast service, call CopyPro today at 1-800-682-6558 and see how we can help your office run more efficiently. CopyPro, fast service, smarter printing, bringing more value to your business.
Arr, matey, this old ship's looking worse than a sea monster's backside. Look at these splintered planks, this saggy deck. It's a bloody mess.
You be right, mate. Even the galley's a disaster. Me kitchen's more like a dungeon than a place for cooking.
What we need is someone who can fix this old tub, make it shine like treasure.
Wait, I've heard of KDL Construction in Greenville. Kathy Herring and her crew do magical things with remodeling. They can fix up kitchens, bathrooms, even whole ships. Homes.
Aye, and she talks to her crew like a true captain. No surprises, just smooth sailing. I heard they got a skilled crew with cabinets, counters, and everything we need.
Aye, let's call KDL Construction, mate. It's time to turn this rust bucket into a beauty. I'm gonna visit KDLConstructionLLC.com today.
KDL Construction, turning your home from shipwrecked to shipshape. Arr!
I want some barbecue, some barbecue.
While you're sleeping, our whole hogs are slow cooking over wood to create that bite that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what whole hog barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
Pirate Radio.
You kind of look like a pirate with that thing on your shoulder.
A pirate? Oh, cool. You should get a pirate name.
And a peg leg.
And a hook hand.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Where do you find the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in Eastern North Carolina? DriveHereNow.com. DriveHereNow.com is a combination of Greenville Auto World and Greenville Motor Company, and is fully stocked with an inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Get shopping today at DriveHereNow.com. DriveHereNow.com, supporting the Pirates for over 48 years. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, as I walk back into the studio, J-Bone says we have a starting pitcher, and that starting pitcher is... Lance Williams will get the ball for the Pirates as they take on the Charlotte 49ers. And that game will start at
5:10.
5:10. We'll be checking it out. Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Purple Beard wants to go undefeated today. Pirates and Canes have to win. He said, "You hear me, Danny Beal? Real fans only." Well, here's a question for you, Purple Beard. Danny Beal is starting tonight. Watch the Down East Bird Dogs play. Are you pulling for Danny Beal, or after his comments the other day, are you rooting against Danny Beal? Let me know.
Well, you can't be a bandwagon fan and jump on now with the Bird Dogs. They're white hot.
If you weren't on before, it's too late?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
The train's already gone.
Real fans only. All right. I am a fan of Dustin Lineback for his football playing career here at East Carolina. Now doing big things in the NASCAR world. Jackman, RFK Racing, Brad Keselowski. We talked to him earlier today. Here is my chat with Dustin Lineback talking about the pirate ship. All right, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, former ECU linebacker, now with RFK Racing. He is Dustin Lineback. Dustin, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm living the dream. How y'all been doing?
Doing great. And, Pirate Nation saw you last weekend. Had a really cool video promoting the purple and gold car, and we saw you All-Star Weekend there as well. But you talked about it in the video, kind of a bittersweet story of why Brad Keselowski was riding that purple and gold car. You took a lot of pride in it being a Pirate. But can you tell us briefly once again how that all came to be?
Yeah, man. So we were calling it the pirate ship, and so my folks over at Solomon Plumbing, they have a lot of employees that graduated from ECU from the construction management program. And Danny, the founder of Solomon, he actually passed away about 3 weeks ago. So that's been kind of a heartfelt moment for us and for them. And he always wanted to do something. He likes doing crazy paint schemes, and something not really off the wall, but just something different and something, that means a lot. And his son graduated from ECU. So D3, Danny the third, came up with the paint scheme for this car. And, they said, hey, we're going to get on the car for the All-Star race, because we had the pit crew challenge the Friday night. So he said, I want you guys motivated to win that. And so we put him on the pole for that, which was great. And then we won the heat race. And then during the All-Star race, man, we ran good all night and then ended up hitting the wall and crashing. But it's just a great story, for Solomon and those guys to do that for us with all the ECU ties from Solomon Plumbing for all the ones at RFK, which is myself, and Brad's wife actually
Yeah.
paid. She graduated from ECU too. So I thought it was awesome, and I saw a lot of purple and gold shirts up there in the stands. And, I'm pretty sure those were ECU Pirates watching us.
Awesome stuff. Dustin Lineback joining us. Dustin, yesterday on the show we had Phoenix Evans, former ECU lineman in the late 90s, early 2000s, and we got to talking about, I told him you were coming on the show, and he said, oh, yeah, man, Jeff Carr, he was big into it, Ed Watkins, but he said that he didn't remember, like, NASCAR folks coming out to Pro Day and stuff like that. He said the only opportunity he was talked to about outside of football was joining pro wrestling. So how'd the NASCAR thing come to be for you? It seems like it's more and more popular now for college football players to get into post-football.
Yeah, it is. It's becoming a big recruiting network. I got guys. I actually came to ECU's Pro Day, I think 2 or 3 years ago, looking for a tire carrier. I was eyeing on Bruce Bivens, linebacker. He played hard, kind of like myself.
Yeah.
Nice. He was a perfect build. We don't want guys that are too tall or too big in this because everything's inches off the ground. And so, we're out recruiting because I can't do it forever. And we've got guys all over the country coming in from Iowa State, from Arizona State, D1 guys that don't quite make it in the NFL, or even if they do make it in the NFL, they stay a year or two and they want another opportunity. It's kind of like a hidden gem. And I'm actually kind of glad that it's coming to forth now that I'm on the back nine of my career, because you're going to get some really superior athletes in here. And pit stop times since I've started went from 16 seconds all the way down to 7. Man. And, the athletes they've just gotten better and better and better. And, with Jeff, he actually taught me how to jack. And we were both over at Hendrick Motorsports together. And, pirate helping a pirate. He taught me a lot of stuff that I use every single day, whether it's practice or at the racetrack. And so hopefully I can pass that down. But we still got Zico Pursuit. He's still pitting too, so we got 2 pirates out here representing the NASCAR world. But it's becoming a new thing, and the pit stops now with a single lug nut it's a sprint. It's basically an 8-second sprint, and you go as fast as you can go, and that's just the pit stop. It's not as much as a fundamental skill sport as it was, 10 years ago. Now it's more athleticism and how fast can you go and how many times can you do it.
Man, that's interesting. Who's Zico hooked up with now?
So he's still at Hendrick, and he's on one of the affiliated cars with Spire Motorsports. I believe he's on the 7. Justin Haley's the driver, and he's a fueler.
Dustin, what makes a good jack man? What attributes do you need to have?
Well, you definitely got to have some athleticism, and you need to be strong. I think your strength is more important than the athleticism, but most importantly, you have to know how to manage risk. And, because I'm starting to stop it. I'm like the quarterback. And so when I jack the car up, I hang the right front tire. I got to make sure that's secure. And then I have to check on the boys in the rear, make sure that tire's on, and then do my other job, and that's on all 4 corners. And a lot of guys will try and cheat time. They'll cut the car, maybe when the gun's not all the way stopped, trying to time it up. And if you hit it, great. If you're not, then you're going to lose a wheel. So that kind of risk management's a pretty big deal, considering it's a 2-week suspension, $100,000 fine, and you got a driver going 200 miles an hour in a wall. So, I think it's a lot of trust with your race car driver. I know Brad trusts me a lot, and I tell him all the time, man, you got kids, I got kids. We need to come back in one piece. That's probably the most important thing is managing the risk. And then overall, you got to be extremely aggressive. Like I said, this pit stop's 8 seconds. You got to get negative pegs. You got to hit the car and get it jacked up basically before it stops, because that's the new game. It's like hitting 100-mile-an-hour fastballs in baseball. They're coming and coming and coming, and you just got to make sure you hit them over the fence every time. But that's pretty much the gist of it. It's how many home runs can you hit and how far can you hit them.
Dustin Lineback joining us, and Brad Keselowski, the former champion, a name synonymous with NASCAR. And I ask all the time, like, big time NASCAR fans, what's most important? Is it the car? Is it the driver? Is it the crew? And really, I know it all comes together, and they're all equally important. But you got to have some confidence going to the track every week with a guy like Brad Keselowski. Hasn't had the success of late that he once had, but you got to figure there's more wins in the future for you guys, right?
Yeah, and like I said, he's the ultimate leader. He's first class in everything he does, and he's helped revamp Roush Racing and Roush Fenway Racing into RFK. And when I first got here, we weren't tops of the board, and we weren't really competing for wins. Now we've just dealt with a lot of adversity this year on the six, but the 60 and the 17 with Busher and Priest, those race teams are competing every week for wins and top fives. And we've crashed, I think, 7 times. I think we have 6 DNFs, but we've had fast race cars. In Kansas, we were leading the race and crashed. We put the car on the pole last week with a super fast car. So I'm very, very confident that we're going to get some more wins. And I think this weekend at the Coke 600 is going to be really good for us because our teams, we're trending up. We just don't have the results to see it. But Brad, he's still hungry and he wants to win. He wants to win for his own company. And I think that's important to him, but at the end of the day, this is our third group on pit road that we've had this year. We split up some of our guys on the 6. We were a top 5 crew for the last 3 years, but adding the 60 in, we had to kind of spread the wealth a little bit. And so, on the pit stop side of things, we've dealt with a lot of adversity this year, and we got a group that's very competitive right now. And I think that leading into the last 3 weeks has helped us get to where we need to be. And I think our cars have gotten a little faster in the last 3 weeks. And I think all that compounds into Brad's confidence. And when he's confident, there's not a better driver on the racetrack.
Dustin Lineback joining us. Dustin, I guess a conditioning test this weekend with just the length and and I guess every weekend at the office for you is a pretty grueling day, but does it feel any different? The Coca-Cola 600, the longest race of the year compared to some of the others?
Yeah, this is definitely a grind for us because you're going to pit every 30 laps, and it's not only just the pit stops. We're going in Saturday just to prep all the tires because we'll have 14, 15 sets of tires that, you have to prep all that, the preparation that people don't see, the behind the scenes stuff. So we'll go in Saturday and do all that since it's here instead of, bombarding all that on us on Sunday morning. But we'll do anywhere from 8 to 12 pit stops, and that's almost double from your normal race. Usually it's 5 to 6. And so you're going to get a lot of opportunities, but there's also, a lot of opportunities for other guys too. And there's some great, great teams out there that are going to be trying to rip low 8s and gain spots and keep him up front. So we're going to have our work cut out for us, but I'm excited. I think this is going to be a good opportunity for the 6 team to gain and maintain some spots and keep him up front.
Clip Rock here with Dustin Lineback, Jarrett Watkins producing. Jarrett, you got a NASCAR question? Because I'm gonna wrap it up with the Greg Hudson question for Dustin Lineback. Dustin was a great guest on the Greg Hudson show. Man, I would ask you to just tell a story, but I don't know what the overall aura of Greg Hudson, Dustin. How would you even begin to describe that?
Man, there's so much I could talk about him. He's, as a football coach, you're not going to get any better football coach than him, but it's the stuff that the locker room, just our linebacker meeting room was as entertaining as it was efficient, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
And we've had some great linebackers at ECU. And I'll tell you what, just being a part of that, just the crumb in the pie was awesome. And Coach Hud, he's a great father figure too, because we're not around our parents. And so he was always there for us, man, just as a person. And so I always looked up to him as a father figure. As a football coach, he's top of the line. There's no doubt about that. But man, he's funny. He got our locker room and our team, our defense to play for him. We believed in him. We believed that he believed in us. And it didn't matter your background, where you're from, what position. That defense loved him. And we all played hard for him. So that, I wish, coaches could stay around forever because the program would be outstanding. But, man, he was, like I say, he's just first class in everything he does. And, I actually saw him, I think it was maybe February or March. He come down to one of our practices. He was down at the coach convention and stopped by and watched some pit stop practice. So we kind of talked for a little bit, and he's doing great. And, you know, but he's one of a kind, man. You can't replace somebody like that.
Yeah.
And I love him to death.
Great era of Pirate defense. Love watching y'all play. Love watching Coach Hood and his intensity during the games. And I love him telling stories, too, about the head games he would play, not just with y'all, but with Coach Rock Rogeman. And he said, man, he would have all y'all psyched out and just fired up, ready to play foot. You were mad about something and didn't even know what you were mad about or excited about, but he said he would get you
to
boys.
play, man.
Yes, sir. Well, Dustin, we're up against it, so I'll let you run. Great to catch up with you. Let's do it again down the road. But good luck this weekend, man. When are y'all already set up there in Charlotte, ready to go, I guess?
No, we'll set up everything on Sunday. The race cars, they have to be loaded up on the trucks and basically inside the garage Friday night.
Okay.
Just by rule by NASCAR. So they're at the shop right now wrapping up the final touches and the details of the race car. They'll probably load that thing up today about 5 o'clock, and they'll drive it across the street and park it in there, and then they'll have a Friday off, and and then Saturday they'll go in practice and qualify, and we'll go in and prep some tires, and Sunday we'll get ready to rock and roll for the 600.
Good deal, man. We'll be watching. Good luck to you, and Dustin, we'll do it again down the road, buddy. Appreciate you joining us.
Former East Carolina linebacker Dustin Lineback, now with RFK Racing, the Jackman for the Brad Keselowski car, and be rooting that one on coming up this Sunday. I know Jarrett will. He's got him on his team, and not a terrible season, but the DNFs are hurting you.
He's been running well, but the people I talk to that know NASCAR, all my friends, they're just like, well, he's a team owner now. He's going to take the back seat to Ryan Preece and Chris Buescher, give them the better cars, the better team, and I'm not going to say team, but take the back seat, let the younger guys do what they got to do.
Yeah, we'll be following that coming up at the Coca-Cola 600. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap up hour number 2. Pirate Radio Live, back with you after this.
Homeowners can face many challenges throughout this season, but our newest New Blue star, Dixon Williams, is here to slide in and save the day. Have a clog that's hitting a foul ball and nothing seems to be getting through? Dixon's fixing to get you flowing again. Feeling like your HVAC's in a slump? Dixon's sliding in to get your comfort back on track. Are swinging blind in a power outage? Dixon is delivering a power boost. So when problems arise, turn home strikeouts into home runs with New Blue Electric, Plumbing, and Air.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arr! Hey there, Eastern North Carolina. Jeff Stein at Brown & Wood. The Brown & Wood service specials include a tire price match guarantee, a $199 AC Delco front brake pad installation special. We also have a brake rotor rebate of $40 and a synthetic oil change on most vehicles for $89.95. Don't forget, free pickup and drop-off at Brown & Wood. 89 years in business, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal: to make sure you leave a happy customer.
There's a common misbelief today that to make it further, you need to push yourself, that you need to give up any joy to continue your rigid routine. Or you could try another way. Take some time to enjoy life, like having a Michelob Ultra with friends, because happiness is essential to living an exceptional life. Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Michelob Ultra, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
Father's Day is here, and it's your opportunity to say thanks. I'm Rhonda with Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington, and we've been making dads happy for 41 years. Russell's offers an amazing selection of sportswear and accessories, including the best from Johnny O, Peter Millar, Duckhead, and Gentile. Can't make a decision? No problem. Gift certificates are always a win in any amount. Make it easy and shop Russell's for a great selection, personal service, and free signature gift wrap. Where it's all about you, our pirate friends and customers.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Good news, business travelers. PGV and American Airlines has added a new early morning flight available now. Book today at aa.com and be on time for that connection in Charlotte. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American flights perfect for your next trip. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
Jimmy John's hot sandwiches are here.
Jimmy John's hot sandwiches are here.
Hot sandwiches are Jimmy John's hot sandwiches are here.
Hot sandwiches are here. The pilot can't steer?
No, Jimmy John's hot sandwiches are here.
That's worse.
Jimmy John's new hot sandwiches are finally here.
Get ready for a crispier, crunchier, meltier, gooier Jimmy John's experience. Toasted sandwiches are here. Try the brand new toasted category or get any sandwich in the favorites category toasted to golden perfection. Jimmy John's in Greenville and Wilson and online at jimmyjohns.com. Go Pirates!
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, get rid of unwanted hair and under-eye fat pads? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa for a free consultation and ask about our newest technologies and treatments. Learn more at beautybarmedispa.com, Red Banks Road, Greenville. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and go Pirates.
From the belt, here's the delivery.
Pirate Radio, the station that always delivers.
Fine, and lapping it up faster than we can deliver.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Michaels and Gateway Family and Cosmetic Dentistry has been Greenville's premier dental practice for over 40 years. Their mission is to provide exceptional dental care with compassion, integrity, and innovation, ensuring every patient leaves with a healthy, confident smile. Doctors Michaels and Gateway can handle all your dental needs, including cleanings, crowns, fillings, sedation dentistry, and cosmetic needs such as braces and implants. Visit them on Hemby Lane in Greenville or give them a call at 752-1600. Bring your smile to us at Michaels and Gateway Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, wrapping up hour number two of our show. It's 4:53. Started the show at 3 o'clock. For an hour and 53 minutes, Chandler has been trying to turn his computer on.
Jeez.
And it turns on, and then right as I log in, it just goes.
He just closed it as I laughed at him, but I was looking at a black screen a moment ago. It made a really loud noise during one of our recorded interviews. I wish it would have happened while we were on the air.
Made it sound like that.
But John, that might be it, buddy. It might be over for you.
I have had this laptop since I was a freshman at East Carolina. So almost August will be 9
Chandler
years.
only talks in sound bites now.
Yeah.
He is AI.
It's infectious because I'll just be walking around, public, private, and just in my head. For the wood.
So it turns 9 years old, at least 9 years old in August.
We're gonna celebrate his birthday. Actually,
Not if it's dead.
We're gonna have to bury it. We'll have a funeral. In lieu of flowers, please send a new laptop for Chandler.
Give it a Viking funeral.
Now, what is that?
Is that at Cleveland High School?
You put it on a raft, push it out into a body of water, and then a flaming arrow.
Oh, wow.
And light it on fire.
Light it up.
That seems pretty bad,
Yeah, those Vikings really knew how to get things done.
Yeah.
All right, so good luck with that, John. People in the chat were wondering earlier what you were eating.
Eating?
There was a lot of questions about it.
Oh, it's probably...
What is John eating, says Joel. And then somebody said, Jamie said it looks suspicious.
I think it was when I had that lifesaver in my mouth.
Okay. Doug says Dustin is the man. I remember specifically interception. Don't remember who was it against, but the crowd went crazy. Chandler, can you go back and recall that one?
Maybe Rice.
Sure, maybe. Joel said I stayed in the same place at Riverwalk after Dustin left. He'd still get mail sometimes.
Huh.
Didn't you get famous people mail? Was it the late great Ramey Steins?
It was Ramey Steins. Yep, I was getting Ramey Steins' mail.
Great man. Jamie says you got to go Office Space. Michael Bolton, smash the computer. Yeah, we could all get baseball bats and smash it.
Yeah. And when I got Ramey's mail, I didn't know who it was because it said Raymond.
Yeah. I remember Woody Durham, voice of the Tar Heels, used to always call him Raymond Steins.
Yeah. So I was like, who is this? I was like, only Steins I know is Ramey Steins, and I didn't even think about that.
Do that again, Jared.
Deborah. Where's dinner, Deborah?
Oh, no.
No, I know who that is.
Okay, all right.
Ray Romano, right?
You just refuse to laugh? You don't think it's funny?
Do it again.
Deborah.
Shut up. I don't need no pity laughs.
I know. Why? You didn't think that was funny?
I tried to laugh. I tried to have a meaningful laugh.
Chandler's sad. His computer's dead.
Yeah.
John, you are racist.
Oh, wow. Okay.
John Moody, you're a racist because you said it was Virginia Tech and Charlotte took it back to the goal line.
No!
Wrong.
Nick Johnson, you
Wrong.
idiot! That was Nick Johnson!
You think all white linebackers look like John Moody?
John Moody, what are you talking about? Get out of here.
Get out of here, dude. Thought you were a pirate.
Oh, my God.
Thought
Get
you
out.
were a good guy and a pirate. You're
Nick Johnson.
neither.
Is it because he's
That's
white?
not a good way to treat your listeners.
Sorry, but I think John deserves it. We need to take a break. That was Nick Johnson. John said, son of a.
I mean, you idiot.
We are besmirching his good name.
You are terrible!
He said, I'll own that. Oh, man, that was funny.
You think you know somebody.
I mean, really. And then John Moody comes in here with a Nick Johnson white buffalo interception.
To the 1 yard line. Get out of here.
Get out of here, man. When we return, hour 3, we'll check in live. We'll see if Greg Hudson remembers Dustin Lineback's interception. Steve said hashtag canceled. We just canceled John Moody.
Yeah.
He was just trying to talk some Pirate football. We canceled the man's life. Hour 3 on the way after this.
At Riley's Army, our mission is to provide support to children with cancer and their families in North Carolina. From emotional support to financial assistance, we are here to ensure no family faces this journey alone. Guided by faith and a commitment to love and service, Riley's Army invites you to join us. Volunteer, donate, or spread the word. Together we can make a lasting difference. Visit RileysArmy.com to learn more. That's RileysArmy.com.
You love U.S. Cellular Home Internet. It lets you do all your favorite things because it's fast, reliable, and affordable.
Switch to U.S. Cellular today and do the things you love with internet you love. Just pay $39.99 a month when you bundle with a wireless plan. And if you don't love it, you have 15 days to let us know. Built for us. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for U.S. Cellular since 1997. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Spring is a great time to plant flowers, trees, and bushes. When planning your landscape, please keep in mind that you should never plant anything within 3 feet of a gas, electric, or water meter. The same thing applies if you have an electric transformer in your yard, except keep plants 8 feet clear of the front in case crews need access during a storm or an outage. Always remember to call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig to avoid underground lines. This important safety message is from your neighbors at Greenville Utilities.
Here with Brian Cook, the comptroller for Greenville Motor Company and Greenville Auto World. You do have a website that sort of combines your two dealerships. That is driveherenow.com. Talk about that.
Yeah, we created the driveherenow.com name to incorporate our whole organization. You go there and you can see logos for both our Greenville Motor Company and Greenville Auto World's location. All our inventory is there to see for both locations.
driveherenow.com. driveherienow.com. One website, 2 outstanding dealerships. Try us, trust us at driveherienow.com.
Looking for an adventure that's refreshing in more ways than one? Welcome to River Vibes, where nature meets flavor. Freely paddle through the stunning Pamlico River on one of our kayaks or stand-up paddle boards. After your adventure, cool down with one of our mouth-watering smoothies, refreshers, boba teas, or fresh juices. Plus, grab some awesome River Vibes gear to remember the day. River Vibes, where every moment is a splash of fun. Visit us in historic downtown Washington or on Facebook or Instagram. Ride, relax, and refresh at River Vibes.
This is Dr. Hasty from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for the athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services, as well as a walk-in urgent care on the weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates.
At Children's Health Services, we understand the importance of your child's well-being. This is Dr. Chris Osmick, and our mission is to provide comprehensive, patient-centered health care through every stage of child development, starting the day they are born in the hospital. We are not just here to treat illnesses. We are here to partner with you on your child's health journey. Schedule your appointment today to build a brighter, healthier world for your children. Children's Health Services, Arlington Boulevard, Greenville, or soon to be our second location on 10th Street. Go Pirates!
If you're hungry for a great steak with honest-to-goodness flavor, head over to Larry's Steakhouse, open Monday through Saturday at 11 a.m., serving up hand-cut, aged ribeyes, tender grilled salmon, bold grilled shrimp, and juicy grilled pork chops, all right off the flame. Pile your plate high with a 25-item salad bar. Try one of our hearty daily lunch specials. Larry's Steakhouse, good food, good folks, and a good time. Located at 2800 East 10th Street across from the old Highway Patrol Station. Call 751-6510 for takeout and reservations. Larry Steakhouse.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Be sure to visit one of ECU graduate Brandon Tate's U.S. Cellular locations and experience the highest standard of customer service. The purpose of the Atlantic Wireless Store experience is to inform, illuminate, and inspire. Find the location near you at atlanticwireless.com. Atlantic Wireless, we go beyond the call. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, let's call an audible. HUD is jumping on a call. I'm going to see if we can do him later in the hour.
Okay.
So let's do a little Shane Connuck here. We'll go back into the bone zone. Jared Watkins went one-on-one with Shane Connuck. Now, if you don't remember him, we had him on to talk
Charlotte ECU
football. And he was
electric.
Mr. Enthusiasm.
And I figured it out today. It's not an act. It's not a bit. Before we were recording, he's just like, man, let me tell you about my day. Yeah, I mean, I was just pumped.
A great guest. And Jared talked about, what'd you talk about, Bone?
Well, he writes for the Charlotte Observer about NASCAR, so talk about a little Coke 600 action this weekend and also all the moves that have been made with Charlotte 49ers football this offseason. New head coach Tim Albin, a couple transfers coming in.
Albin.
Yeah. So good conversation with Shane Connuck.
And we will get to that after I tell you that we will not punish John Moody. He has self-banned himself for the rest of the show. I will accept that. And John, we'll see you back. He'll see you back next week. Here is Jared Watkins and Shane Connuck.
All right, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, Shane Connuck from the Charlotte Observer. Shane, how you doing today?
Doing great. How are we doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for taking time out of your day. I know it's a busy weekend up there in Charlotte. Coming off a busy weekend this past weekend with the PGA Championship. Did you get a chance to go out there?
I did. I'm not for the competition days. Was out there in a couple of the days leading up to it. You got a whole interesting, never seen before experience. If you don't like having to go to a concession stand and pull out your wallet and pay $20 for a beer, you still have to probably do that. But you just walk in, you get a burger, you get a side, you get a drink, and you can go in as many times as you want. It's a first of its kind of thing that the PGA Championship has done 3 years in a row now. So I got to see that before the doors opened for the competition down at Quail Hollow.
That's crazy. So how did that work? You just walked in, grabbed something, and left?
Yeah, every ticket is an all-inclusive ticket to go to the concession markets as many times as you would like during the day.
Dang. That sounds like a good business model. Hopefully a lot more follow suit. But busy weekend this weekend with the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte. Are you going to be at the race covering that?
Oh, yeah. I'll be there all weekend. We got ARCA Trucks Xfinity Series and the NASCAR Cup Series and a fun 3-day weekend in America's Home for Racing.
Which is your favorite to cover, ARCA, Truck, Xfinity, Cup?
Well, there's nothing like the NASCAR Cup Series on Sundays, obviously, but that's the thing about NASCAR, that you can go on Saturday, you can get a good Xfinity Series race at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and that could be a great event to watch in and of itself, and a great job the CW has been doing broadcasting those races this year. Those truck races on Friday nights are fun, and this past year at Daytona, you had a really entertaining ARCA race in the afternoon after one of those ARCA races ended at past 1 in the morning and had people watching it a year before. So you never know what you're going to get from NASCAR National Series races.
Yeah, this weekend in Charlotte, Kyle Larson going to be pulling double duty, or at least try to, once again, running the Indy 500 and the Coke 600. Do you think he's going to be able to pull it off, or is it going to be like last year where he may not make it in time?
We'll have to see on Sunday. The weather is going to be hopefully going to be his friend, but that was the biggest thing a year ago. The timing seems to be planning out a little bit better this year. At least he's making NASCAR really a little bit more of a priority, as that was something they talked about last year when he had to fly in to North Wilkesboro a week before after running in the Fast Six at Indy. He came over to North Wilkesboro earlier in the day last Sunday. So it feels like it's all a little bit more planned out. Kyle told me on a call last week he feels a little bit more focused this year. He feels a little bit more like he's been through the motions. He's hanging out at Indy, sitting on pit wall. He realizes the scope and magnitude of this event. And again, it's because he has been a part of it. He's worked with the engineers of Arrow McLaren. He's worked with his race team at Hendrick Motorsports in Charlotte and has been preparing to do this once again for a long time. It feels like if all goes to plan, Kyle Larson can become the first driver since Tony Stewart to pull off the vaunted double.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with NASCAR a lot. We got a pool going on here. We all have like 5 drivers and just keep up with it on a weekly basis. But one thing I've noticed about Kyle Larson, and I may be wrong on this, but he's kept that same level of aggressiveness without being as reckless in years past. Am I right on that?
He has. I mean, he has been one of the best drivers in the Cup Series this year once again, week in and week out. And yeah, he hasn't been necessarily, he hasn't, for example, a driver like Ryan Blaney has been consistent this year. He hasn't gotten a victory lane yet, but he's had, I think now 3 did not finishes. You look at a driver who's been able to be as consistent as Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell, who've been able to get their wins when they get them. Christopher Bell just won the NASCAR All-Star race and just being able to finish races strong, and that's why those are the guys who are toward and Kyle Larson at the top of the Cup Series standings.
You mentioned Christopher Bell winning the All-Star race. What were your thoughts on that format? It kind of weirder than normal, I think, with the promoter caution or whatever. But what were your thoughts on the format of the race last weekend?
It was a fun race. It was a fun all-star race. A year ago, or 2 years, at now 3 straight years at North Wilkesboro, the first 2 years you saw first Kyle Larson dominate toward the end, and win that race as one of the best drivers. And a year ago, Joey Logano, the eventual Cup Series champion for the 3rd time, started on the pole, led 199 of 200 laps. It wasn't much of a race, was the take last year. We were all waiting for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to throw a punch at Kyle Busch. But this year, you had passing throughout the night. You had an entertaining event throughout the night. And when you had the way the promoter's caution, which is something we all anticipated, ended up falling, I do think it first of all, it impacted the race. And second of all, I think that's exactly what we wanted. I think we wanted to have an entertaining all-star race that we didn't know who was going to win. I think going into it, Christopher Bell starting on the front row, you know you're not going to have much passing. You know Brad Keselowski or Christopher Bell is really going to have to earn this win. And then when you also know, and Christopher Bell said in his post-race news conference, he wasn't surprised the promoter's caution came out because everybody in the building was aware that Marcus Smith and officials had the ability to use that caution. And eventually they decided they're going to wait until closer and closer to lap 220. They're going to have Michael Waltrip stand there on the stand, and he actually dropped the caution flag. I think that was the most surprising part of the entire thing, was that he actually dropped the yellow flag on the racetrack. You could tell that was not the point. And so it feels like it spiced things up. It got people talking a little bit because it actually impacted the race. The race was going in a way that allowed, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney decided to stay out. They didn't take tires. Like Christopher Bell got 2 fresher tires and was able to bolt past Joey Logano and win the All-Star race. Going into it, I picked Christopher Bell in the Charlotte Observer at charlotteobserver.com. I picked him to win the race in advance. I knew that. I saw it coming. And I think that Christopher Bell saw it, that once that caution was going to come out, you knew it was going to come out, you have to pit. You have to, and that was the plan all along. The other guys tried to be a little more aggressive late, and it didn't work. So the right drivers anticipated the novel concept, and it worked out.
A fun race last week in North Wilkesboro. This weekend, the Coke 600 in Charlotte, a Memorial Day tradition. What storylines are you looking at going into this race?
So, first of all, as much parity as there is in the sport right now, every week you've got drivers in the Cup Series after qualifying separated by a second. Most of the field, maybe a second, a little bit more than that, puts them apart. There was a time when you'd have a second separating the top guys. You'd have throughout the field, the drivers in the back of the field did not have that speed. It's getting to a point with the next gen car and with how these different teams are building their race cars that it's anybody's race every week. And then when you have the number 5 car, you've got the number 20 car, you've got those Penske cars sometimes, they are faster. They are better machines. And the guys behind the wheel are more talented race car drivers. And that is why you have Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell dominating races and winning multiple. And you have drivers of other teams figuring out how to get to victory lane, and it becomes harder and harder to win a race. When you have the Coca-Cola 600, the longest race of the NASCAR Cup Series season, the only one that goes from daylight into nighttime, it's a test of skill, it's a test of stamina, and it's a test of who is the most strong race winner in the NASCAR Cup Series. Every week, again, a mile and a half can be a great test of Kyle Larson or Christopher Bell was able to win over the rest of the field. You go down to Talladega and a Penske driver like Austin Cindric gets another win. But when you have a race like we are going to have in Charlotte this weekend, even last year, Christopher Bell winning that race that was shortened by rain, it was still a massive accomplishment for him. And a year before, the last one that went 600 miles was Ryan Blaney. Blaney had a winless streak going of his own at the time. He got the big win at the Coca-Cola 600 to triumph, and he went all the way to the NASCAR Cup Series championship in 2023 after that victory. This is really one of the biggest races of the season. It's a crown jewel. It's all those things, but it's because the person who you see gets a victory lane on Sunday will be one of the most deserved winners of the entire season.
So who do you think is going to victory lane this Sunday?
Right now, it feels like Kyle Larson is that guy. It feels like nobody's beating him on any track. So if you get the longest race of the year, the biggest race of the year, if he's in his car from when they take the green flag, he's taking that number 5 car to victory lane.
Moving on to some other news in NASCAR with the 2311 Furniture Motorsports lawsuit. What have you been hearing about that, and how's that going?
Yeah, so 2311 and racing and Front Row Motorsports, obviously. Furniture Row, previous NASCAR team, FRM has been a Front Row Motorsports, yeah, and a growing team now in NASCAR. Noah Gregson and Michael McDowell with in the 71 with Spire now, and basically, and Todd Gilliland and Zane Smith, in 34 and 38. But yeah, you got those two teams have been suing NASCAR, and at this point, they are still running as charter teams in the NASCAR Cup Series, but they have this lawsuit constantly hanging over their heads, hanging over the sports heads, and at this point, again, the team's continuing to race, and it feels like it is much will be talked about more following this NASCAR Cup Series season. And again, nonetheless, the reigning regular season champion Tyler Reddick is running well this year, but you're seeing Bubba Wallace win some stages. You're seeing Riley Herbst start to get speed in his first year with 2311 Racing, and Noah Gregson and those Front Row Motorsports cars become bigger and bigger as that team builds itself in the NASCAR Cup Series.
So I read that like they could potentially lose their charter this season. Do you think that happens, and what would that do for the drivers and the teams?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to necessarily this season, but the whole thing is that you don't know how all this is going to shake out. It felt like even there's a chance that going into this season, they might lose their charters. And in that case, they would be competing as non-chartered teams, which is something that we haven't seen yet before. And so they ended up reaching an agreement before this season that they would maintain their charters and compete with the charters being the numbers of each NASCAR Cup Series team. And so, yeah, it feels like, this, again, it's a cloud that hanging over everybody's head.
Yeah, Shane Connuck joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. You also cover Charlotte 49ers football, but we got baseball today in the American Athletic Conference tournament between East Carolina and Charlotte. You said earlier before we started recording you haven't really kept up with it much, but have you seen anything from Charlotte baseball this season?
Yeah, a little bit. Caleb Estes has been playing on the 49ers infield. I graduated from University of Maryland, and how the transfer portal works now. He was playing third base for the Terrapins a couple of years back and has been playing that position down in University City.
Yeah, Charlotte kind of impressed me this season, getting the second seed in the American. ECU not really doing what they normally do. They're the sixth seed, but looking to continue their season by beating Charlotte today. Charlotte football is how we know you. You came on our show in the fall, and we just loved your passion, and I wanted to get you back on to talk about Charlotte football's additions and losses this offseason. Biff Poggi out, Tim Albin in. What do you think about that hire?
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. And, dude, Tim Albin is a good hire. He is a good head coach who has come into the American Athletic Conference. He coached at Ohio University, and before all of that, he is from Oklahoma. And I asked him at his opening press conference about when he was growing up in Oklahoma, and he went to go coach one of his first jobs at Northwestern Oklahoma State University. And he was telling me about how back then in the 1990s, guys were looking to transfer from NAIA schools to Division III schools because they felt, well, if I do well at an NAIA school, then maybe I could get to an NCAA level school. And he was able to keep guys at Northwestern Oklahoma State, and they won a national championship. And the idea was that he likened it to the transfer portal. You had guys who were looking over the shoulder at a bigger level to play, and he said, be here with this team, with this coach, with these teammates, and they won. And so, as he said, sure, we're going to win. The idea, really trying to build a culture here in Charlotte, build something here in Charlotte, and build a consistent winning program that fans are proud of. And as the stadium is now expanding and Charlotte is growing, it understands the size of the school it is, that it didn't even have athletics 20 years ago. And so as it keeps growing its fan base, selling out its stadium that is as large as it is, it's going to be expanding, having more sections, and just really growing with the fan base that it has in Charlotte. And Tim Albin, a great leader for it.
I haven't really kept up with what they've been doing in the transfer portal, but have they had a good amount of additions?
They have. And also guys moving around, obviously, all over the place. Deshaun Purdy at Wake Forest transferred to, staying in the state. But yeah, they've been active. They've been getting different guys. It feels like that's obviously where we're at in college football and college sports. I mean, even with Biff Poggi, it felt like a different group of guys who Biff would bring in every year with Charlotte. And so this is going to be a really new look group. At the same time, there are plenty of guys who have hung around for years at Charlotte and probably will be around and familiar to the area. And so it's going to be interesting to see what Tim Albin does, but that culture and growing that fan base is what is most important.
You mentioned growing the culture. How long do you think it'll take before they start competing in the American Athletic Conference?
I think already you're starting to see everything you want to see from a promotional standpoint, and that it's just going to take time. You know, I think with how they played up with the non-conference games that they've been scheduling, the level of teams that they're bringing in. I mean, they're going to Athens, Georgia this upcoming season. It's the kind of thing that Charlotte has been scheduling over its head, and I think they understand that. I think that's the point. They want to put themselves on these big stages and play against big-time programs. None bigger this year coming up than week 2 when Bill Belichick's North Carolina Tar Heels come in to Jerry Richardson Stadium. You know, that's the kind of stuff that Charlotte wants. Charlotte's not looking to schedule a bunch of non-conference games, roll over them, and then maybe they still are going 500 in the American Athletic Conference. The thing is, they understand they're going to go 1-3 in their non-conference schedule. And so if they keep scheduling their non-conference like this, it's gonna take a while for Charlotte to be seriously making a bowl game or seriously looking to win in the postseason. But I realize the importance of building up the fan base with these games, that you have to bring in the big teams and put yourself on these big stages to be able to knock one of them off and to be able to become the program that you're trying to be.
Yeah, Shane Connuck joining us today. Before we let you go, you mentioned Bill Belichick there. I got to ask you just what you think about him being in Chapel Hill coaching the Tar Heels.
Yeah, that entire thing is something. You see, I am a lifelong fan of the New York Jets, so I like this more. I couldn't hate him anymore. So this is incredible. This really is something.
Yeah, I wish it's funny just seeing all the stuff with Jordan Hudson and everything. But, I mean, the greatest coach in NFL history is coaching in the state, and it just seems like everything else is the focus instead of football. And that's really what worries me. I feel like he's just going to come out and steamroll everybody because nobody's been focusing on what's actually going on the field.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is, though, that's what you want in a lot of ways. And if he brings in a handful of good players and he brings in the right people – and North Carolina football becomes a little bit better. It was in a position where you look at the Tar Heel, it's not like this was such a struggling football program that needed some coach to come in and lift them and take them somewhere. Now, obviously, the Belichick's completely taking over for the future with Steve Belichick 5 years later now. And so a really interesting situation in Chapel Hill, changing times in college athletics. And I think UNC is... I think it's all noise for now, and again, every week it's going to be a show that North Carolina wants.
Yeah, college football definitely going to be interesting watch this fall with just everything going on with the playoff and Bill Belichick and all that stuff. But Shane, thanks for joining us. Probably reach out to you again this fall to preview ECU and Charlotte coming up in November.
Oh, yeah. And then the other thing, I'm wearing the shirt here, the Premier Lacrosse League, the Carolina Chaos. We have one of 8 teams in the Premier Lacrosse League, comes to Charlotte June 6th and 7th for the second straight Carolina Chaos homecoming weekend. A year later, they will be playing all their home games here in Charlotte as one of 8 Premier Lacrosse League franchises.
All right. I did not know that. I'll have to check it out. But Shane, before you go, let everybody know where they can catch your work and follow you.
Shane_Connuck on X, and you can read it all at charlotteobserver.com.
Shane Connuck, A+ guest on Pirate Radio Live, and great interview by the J-Bone himself, Jared Watkins. We will take a break. As we do, hat tip to Riley Johnson. He did it again.
At this point in his career, it's just routine for him. He makes these plays all the time.
Another great catch for Riley at the wall, off the wall. We'll open up our Fleet Feet Rundown next. I got to serve up some props to my man Chan. We'll do that. Talk about what's going on tonight. Talk about Pirate baseball. I guess they got out of the inning after a leadoff walk.
Nice.
Both teams issue leadoff walks. Both teams get out of it unscathed. More to go. Pirate Radio Live on a Thursday after this.
Stella Artois is a world-renowned Belgian beer with over 650 years of brewing heritage. Stella's rich, full flavor and smooth finish is perfect for making moments worth more. Stella's non-alcohol option, Stella 0.0, offers the same iconic taste without the alcohol, ideal for those looking to enjoy Stella anytime. Stella, whether celebrating big or small, Stella is the perfect choice for elevating the everyday. Proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989.
This is proud ECU alumni David Price of David Price Construction. As a leading general contracting firm, we specialize in commercial construction and renovation. Whether it's updating your office space, renovating your restaurant, or building a new retail store, our team at David Price Construction is ready to assist. We are committed to delivering quality, value, and customer satisfaction across all of our projects. So give us a call at 919-820-3612 or find us online at davidpriceconstruction.com. Go Pirates.
You don't have to choose between comfort and capability when you're behind the wheel of a 2025 Honda Pioneer 704. Rugged and reliable, it delivers the power you need on the job, the smooth shifting you want on the trail. And with Honda's exclusive quick flip seating, you get the versatility of seating 4 passengers or stowing the back seats for a full cargo bed. See the latest Honda Pioneer 704 today at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear a helmet, eye protection, close side nets and doors, and always wear seatbelts. Honda side-by-sides are for riders 16 and older.
It's bow time. Bojangles is shaking up breakfast with the return of its sausage Bowberry biscuit. Savory, sizzling, country-style sausage topped with a drizzle of sweet icing, served on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit stuffed with bowberries. Just when you thought you knew where breakfast was going, Bojangles flips the script. But head to Bojangles soon, because even though breakfast is served all day, the sausage Bowberry biscuit is here for a limited time. Order yours today. It's bow time.
UBE and Pireware.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory of ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking in downtown Greenville. Visit them online at Pirateware.com. Go Pirates!
Hey, it's Lindsay Gray with Carolina Caliber. May and June will be here soon, and Mom and Dad are due for something extra special. There's no better gift than the protection of life. Empower your parent with a trip to Carolina Caliber. From home defense to concealed carry and tons of other personal protection and shooting sports gear, your parents deserve to choose from the finest selection in Eastern NC. Plus, the summer will be sizzling with exceptional factory promotions they won't want to miss. Grab a gift card and send them on over to Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville. It's a time-honored tradition.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Good news, business travelers. PGV and American Airlines has added a new early morning flight available now. Book today at aa.com and be on time for that connection in Charlotte. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American flights perfect for your next trip. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Jacob Jiggins Cowart, and the best place to go for custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items is University Sportswear. University Sportswear hit a home run for me when I needed my custom t-shirts. From start to finish, University Sportswear provided superior customer service and a quality product that cannot be beat. If your business, organization, or event needs t-shirts or promotional help, then you need University Sportswear. Visit universitysportswearenc.com for contact information. Go Pirates.
Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Like a cold beer on a hot summer day. Nice. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Greenville Utilities Neighbor to Neighbor program provides help for those who need temporary assistance with their utility costs, and you can make a difference. Your tax-deductible donation can be added to your GUC bill each month, or you can make a one-time donation, and GUC matches all donations up to $20,000 each year. Consider helping a neighbor with GUC's Neighbor to Neighbor program. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Cliff.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live. Shirley Rhodes, Jared Watkins, Chandler Honeycutt here. Pirates have loaded the bases with nobody out in the top of the second inning, scoreless with Charlotte, but Austin Irby trying to change that as he faces a 1-1 count and hits it deep into left, but it's going to be foul. Wow. All right, we will head out to the Pirate Radio Live line real quick and find out, Shirley Rhodes.
Where in the world is
Greg Hudson? Where is Greg Hudson? What's up, Coach Hud?
Hey, hello. Hello. Where am I? I'm just pulling off a campus at Notre Dame.
Okay.
So last week I got you some Boomer Sooner, and now I got you some Fighting Irish, and it's typical pre-summer weather. It's gray and it's raining.
Okay. Well,
it's 54 degrees.
It's sunnier here, and it's sunny in Clearwater, where the Pirates take a 1-0 lead over Charlotte as they try to remain in the winner's bracket and advance to the semifinals. Irby grounds out, but does drive in the run. So Pirates will now have second and third with just one out. Hud, let's get the ass kissing out of the way. I talked to one of your former players earlier, Dustin Lineback, and I texted you about this really cool story about the pirate ship, Brad Keselowski's purple and gold car from last week, and had Dustin on to talk more about that, and also asked him about Greg Hudson and playing for Coach Hud. He had some awesome things to say, Coach Hud, so I want you to hear this from earlier today. Here's Dustin Lineback.
Man, I would ask you to just tell a story, but I don't know what the overall aura of Greg Hudson, Dustin. How would you even begin to describe that?
Man, there's so much I could talk about him. You know, he's as a football coach, you're not going to get any better football coach than him. But it's the stuff that the locker room, just our linebacker meeting room, was as entertaining as it was efficient, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
And we've had some great linebackers at ECU. And I'll tell you what, just being a part of that, just the crumb in the pie was awesome. And Coach Hud, he's a great father figure too, because we're not around our parents. And so he was always there for us, man, just as a person. And so I always looked up to him as a father figure. As a football coach, he's top of the line. There's no doubt about that. But man, he's funny. You know, he got our locker room and our team, our defense to play for him. You know, we believed in him. We believed that he believed in us. And it didn't matter your background, where you're from, what position. That defense loved him, and we all played hard for him. So that, you know, I wish, coaches could stay around forever because the program would be outstanding. But, man, he was, like I say, he's just first class in everything he does. And, you know, I actually saw him, I think it was maybe February or March. He come down to one of our practices. He was down at the coach convention and stopped by and watched some pit stop practice. So we kind of talked for a little bit, and he's doing great. And, you know, but he's one of a kind, man. You can't replace somebody like that.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, there is Dustin Lineback talking about Greg Hudson, Coach Hud. We've had, Dakota and Scotty and Brandon Simmons and a bunch of guys on, and I know you love to see them succeeding in life long after their time at East Carolina and in college. But awesome stuff there from Dustin Lineback. Sounds like you were able to find that formula, Coach Hud, of using your sense of humor, but also getting on the guys, being serious, and you found a good mix of that, it sounds like.
Yeah, well, first of all, I I got to pull over because it's not the rain I can't see through. It's the water in my eyes, and that just makes my day, and it makes every second you put into coaching worth every second when you have kids that believe like that in you and what you're doing, and it carries on in their life, man. But I played for some good guys. I was really lucky. I mean, you got to dig into the deep book of football history to pull out this name. I played for Foge Fazio, who was the defensive coordinator for Jackie Sherrill at Pitt, and then he became the head coach. And Foge was a defensive wizard back in the day, in the 70s and the 80s and in the 90s in the NFL. And Foge kept it real. I used to tell the guys all the time, hey, man, I never told them to not panic. I said, hey, man, just be cool. Just get out there and be cool and relax and let the ball bounce a little bit one way or the other and make a play. And, Foge kept it real, and he was fun to play for. And Barry Alvarez, those guys always, you had an edge being around them because you knew how serious they were, and you wanted to emulate that. So, and then another guy that made an influence on me was Pat Murphy, the manager of the Brewers. It was you never knew what to expect from either in some anger or disappointment to something completely hilarious. And I thought if you had that mix between the fun that you saw the coaches having when they were coaching you, and then when you made plays, the joy that they got, and then building up a close relationship where you can actually talk to them about anything. There's a word not used much on the man side of being is intimate. There's an intimate level in a relationship between a coach and a player that you really can't describe, and it's where things are said and lines aren't drawn. Those kids knew they could come to me with anything. And I've had some guys come to me with some stuff that'll knock your socks off. And, you hug their neck and you help them good or bad with it. And it's going to pay off for them in the long run. And I hope that's still going on even more today because there's just so much more distractions for these guys.
No doubt. Very well said. That's awesome to hear, Coach Hood. I think part of it's becoming tougher today. We had Kim McNeill on, ECU women's basketball coach, and she talked about her 9 new players that she's got on the roster. Some of that was because she had a senior-laden team last year, but LSU comes in, takes one of our players. Georgetown, DePaul take a couple of ECU players, and she said it's year to year at this point. And sure, you're getting a year of a certain coach, and hopefully you have great coaches no matter where you stop. But that kind of lifetime bond that you develop with your guys, that your guys develop with you, we're not seeing a lot of that these days, Coach Hood.
Well, I saw it in reverse. And it depends on the program that you were in. Now, my freshman year, I played for a position coach that was Kurt Schottenheimer, Marty Schottenheimer's brother, and then the next year I had Foge Fazio, and then the next year I had Barry Alvarez. So it was in reverse. I had the same head coach, but I was getting a different guy in my meeting room, every year. Because those guys were going on and getting bigger and moving up the ladder. So I dealt with it, and to be around Kurt Schottenheimer for 1 year made a big influence on me, and I saw him here and there on through the years in coaching. But I can see where that you just got to get to know them quick, man. You got to love them up and get them in the circle and believing in you. And I don't know how they're doing it to take a team that has to play for each other and be willing to do something for the man next to him or the lady next to him, and you barely know them. That's the only thing that I just don't see how it's going today. And that was a big conversation I had in the hallways at Notre Dame, talking to one of the guys that's off the road, and with Marcus, I said, what is the main focus you're on? He said, it's getting this group together as fast as we can and playing for each other. I said, well, if that's the formula, and you're putting that ahead. He goes, sometimes we might not have the most talented guys, and at times we didn't. He said, but we had the best locker room. I can tell you that. We had the best locker room. So it's important.
Greg Hudson joining us, former ECU defensive coordinator. That being said, every time I hear something about the offensive line now, I think of Greg Hudson with his work with the Joe Moore Award and what he's doing there. We had a former Pirate O-lineman on the show yesterday, Phoenix Evans. He coaches the South Central offensive line now, Coach. And also Jarrett brought up a story yesterday. I guess they're going to be giving out. Now, this is an individual award, not a team award, but an O-lineman of the year in the NFL. Jarrett?
Yeah, protector of the year.
How do you feel about that, Coach? It's not the group award, but they are going to give out a protector of the year award in the NFL. Is that a good start?
It sure is. It's a good start, but it won't be hard to pick them out because those guys got to be freaky good, and there's only so many of them.
Do we just give it to Trent Williams after the fact for the last 20 years or whatever? I
mean,
is it going to be like the best tackle from the best team, or are they really going to break this thing down and look at all that stuff? I don't know.
I'm sure it'll get streamlined, but I know back in the day, if Anthony Munoz and Tony Selly weren't in there, you were crazy.
Two awesome names there.
There's going to be your top five, and they're going to go from there. I'm glad you brought up the award. That has been, going around representing the Joe Moore Award, and then also talking to nutritionists and strength coaches about the P26 protein that's coming out. There's a lot of talk about, the unit and the importance and the respect they have for the award. And it's in a critical time to focus on, more of the unit in the team with all this individualism that's flying around, like how big your Wells Fargo account is and stuff like that, or what car you're driving. So it's been an interesting couple weeks to see, to be in a dozen universities and see how they're all, cooking it up, the steak a little different, and what resources they have. There's a lot going on. It's probably never been a more exciting time in college football, as crazy as it is.
Yeah.
And
I'm with you.
Changing how many times you said, they're going to change the format in the playoffs? Well, they did. And that's out. So there'll be a new format on the seedings next year. So this is a wild time.
Same number of teams, but as Hud said, a new format where now they're just taking the top teams and seeding them that way. There's no conference champion or anything like that, just seeding the top teams. Sean, you got something?
Going back to that award that the NFL is doing, if the CFL has a similar award, they need to name it after Stanley Bryant.
Yeah, former Pirate Stanley Bryant, who is a multi-time champion. He's going to be a CFL Hall of Famer. But they do have an award. He's won that award, I think, several times, if I'm not mistaken.
Stanley Bryant Award would be perfect.
Oh, you want to name it after him? That's
yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. I'm down. Because, he's been awesome up there in Canada. Greg Hudson joining us. Let's see. Anything else, Coach Hud? You been following in the world of sports these days?
No, just my Reds, trying to, watching a little Ellie De La Cruz swing the bat. That's it, And, this is the only time I do really watch the NBA, especially if the Pacers are in it, so.
Pacers with a wild comeback last night to win Game 1.
Man, it was, the ghost of Reggie was on him, hitting a bomb at the end to at least put him in overtime with his foot on the line. Reggie would have stepped back on that one.
No doubt.
Halliburton was ready for that choke celebration.
Yeah, he had the choke ready to go. Man. Good stuff. Hud, we'll let you run, man. We'll catch up with you again next week, find out where in the world you are. But good to catch up with you, Coach.
Yeah. All right, great talking to you guys always.
Later on.
See you, Coach.
Be nice.
There's the Hud.
Right there.
Be nice. Chandler, you all right? What are you?
I am watching ECU baseball over Charlotte 2-0 right now. Bottom of the second, 2 outs, man on first for Charlotte. 2 pitches I thought that could be strike 3, but they are not. And Lance Williams, man, he's pumping right now. I just saw him throw for 99 miles per hour fastball earlier up in the zone. So
yeah. I believe that's Walker Barron that is catching, and he did a great job of framing both those pitches, and that's you yelled it out, but I was
enough.
just as frustrated. I was thinking to myself, as a former catcher, I'm like, that's the perfect frame. You got to call that.
The payoff pitch is outside. They're
And
going to have 2 on with 2 outs. In the second inning, Lance up to 31 pitches right now. Get out of it with this batter, and you'll be okay. We'll take a break. Fleet Feet Rundown. Boy, busy show today. Fun show. Glad to have the Chan Man here.
Yes. It's been a busy past couple of days. I'm happy to be able to enjoy this afternoon with you guys.
And I will give you those props I talked about earlier when we return. We'll put it on the rundown. Might have some props for Jarrett too, which means I need to find some for Shirley as well, because it's like kids. If you give one, you got to give them to everybody. I'm going to give props to the team when we return after this.
Roberto here with Orthopedics East, and I'm excited to share that we've partnered with Fleet Feet to bring you a community race series that includes 3 awesome races throughout the year, each one benefiting a local nonprofit making a real difference right here in our town. Starting with the Big Run June 7th, benefiting Ainsley's Angels, the Glow Run November 8th, benefiting Building Hope, and the Santa Dash December 13th, benefiting Riley's Army. To sign up, go to runtoeast.com. Join us in running for a cause and making every mile matter.
At Langley Contracting, we're superior roofing specialists. Whether it's a new roof or repairing your old one, we've got you covered. And best of all, we handle your insurance claims. We are locally owned right here in Eastern Carolina. We are licensed and insured and have a 25-year roof warranty. We can handle your gutter installation too, so everything is seamless. Call or visit us online at 214roof.com for your free estimate today.
Langley Contracting, your superior roofing specialist.
Are you thinking about purchasing a new home? Stop by and see us at Integrity Home Mortgage at our new location in Greenville at 1420 Arlington Boulevard. This is Talbot Green at Integrity Home Mortgage. We offer a wide variety of loan programs to help get you pre-approved. Our team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir has over 50 years of experience and is committed to providing you with superior customer service you deserve.
To get started, call me, Joanne Weir, at 531-1148.
Joanne Weir in MLS 75974. For informational purposes only, Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is an equal housing lender in MLS 208516.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Washington's favorite place to eat and where all the locals go is down on Main Street. Down on Main Street is now open 7 days a week. Stop by for the house salad with grilled chicken, the half club sandwich with chips, or everyone's favorite, the fried shrimp plate. After work, Down on Main Street is the perfect spot for dinner and drinks on the patio. Join Down on Main every Wednesday for half-price wings from 4 p.m. to close. Down on Main Street in historic downtown Washington. Go Pirates!
Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry has been Greenville's premier dental practice for over 40 years. I am Dr. Chris Gateway, and our mission at Michaels & Gateway is to provide exceptional dental care with compassion, integrity, and innovation, ensuring every patient leaves with a healthy, confident smile. Doctors Michaels & Gateway are committed to providing an outstanding patient experience with every visit. Not only do we offer all your dental needs under one roof, in most cases, we can take care of those needs on the same day. Bring your smile to us at Michaels & Gateway Cosmetic and Family Dentistry.
Hey, Righty, you feeling okay? You've been dragging all day.
Ugh, don't even talk to me, Lefty. These shoes are a disaster. My arch is crying.
Dude, we have to go to Fleet Feet. They have a 3D scanner to customize shoes for every foot.
Wait, like custom fit? For me?
Yes, you and me. They have the top brands such as OnCloud, Brooks, and Hoka, plus many more.
Fleet Feet, where fit happens. Schedule your appointment at fleetfeet.com or come in today and treat your feet right. Find your perfect pair at Fleet Feet.
Spring is a great time to plant flowers, trees, and bushes. When planning your landscape, please keep in mind that you should never plant anything within 3 feet of a gas, electric, or water meter. The same thing applies if you have an electric transformer in your yard, except keep plants 8 feet clear of the front in case crews need access during a storm or an outage. Always remember to call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig to avoid underground lines. This important safety message is from your neighbors at Greenville Utilities.
Pirate Radio.
Behind every captain, there's a crew. Sure, some of you are as ugly as a sea cucumber. Some of you are closer to being a chair or coat rack than a pirate. And some of you are just fish I've dressed up in a hat.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. UBE has been an ECU tradition for over 50 years. You can shop online anytime at pirateware.com. UBE has the biggest and best selection of ECU sportswear and accessories for pirates of all ages. Every day is game day at UBE. And looking for a great meal in the heart of downtown Greenville? Come on down to 5th Street Hardware and Tap Room. Whether you're craving a juicy burger, a fresh seafood basket, or a tasty sandwich or wrap, they've got something for everyone. Grab a bite with friends, relax on the patio, and enjoy the cozy, welcoming atmosphere. Join them for Singo on Tuesday night. Wednesday is trivia with DJ Captain Morgan and live music on Fridays. And while you're there, check out the repair shop featuring dart lanes, pool tables, skee ball, and other great games. So next time you're in downtown Greenville, make it a point to visit 5th Street Hardware. Great food, great company right next to the State Theater in downtown Greenville. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, we're screwed.
That's on you, Blue.
3-run dinger for the 49ers, and now an error, and now a blooper that is caught to get out of the inning. Ooh. Boy, needed that out. Pirates trailing 3-2 heading to the third inning. Gonna need the bats to be alive in Clearwater. Pirates down 1. Fleet Feet rundown. A-Harp, what's up, my guy?
Hey, Pirate Nation. Be sure you have the best and most comfortable shoes this tailgate season with a stop at Fleet Feet. Locally owned and operated by ECU alum Chris Lunyon. Fleet Feet of Greenville provides solutions through one-on-one services to runners, walkers, and everyone in between. Fleet Feet has the tools and technology to get you in the right shoe, including a 3D foot scanner that measures arch height, width, and more. Go see them at 207 East Arlington Boulevard in the old Gordon's Golf location. Fleet Feet. They run for you.
Shout out to our boy Alex. If you go to WNCT Channel 9, you can find his bio. He joined the team in February of 2025. Talks about his long snapping prowess. It says while in school, he interned with Pirate Radio 92.7 FM, gaining experience in radio production and as an on-air personality. A-Harp got his own page, his own picture.
That's fire, dude.
Yeah, I'm a former long snapper.
Yeah, I'm a current WNCT 9 digital director.
It didn't say anything about him being a Bucs fan. It said Canes in West Virginia and East Carolina.
So I guess we just wasted 2 months for nothing.
All right, Fleet Feet rundown. Let me give out some props. I'm going to give out some props to Chon because we talked about Dustin Lineback's interception earlier. John Moody mistakenly said it was against Virginia Tech and Charlotte. No, of course, that was Nick Johnson. So I said, Chandler, no way you remember Dustin Lineback's interception. And you said what?
I believe it's Rice.
Chandler looked it up. Sure enough.
And I was cooking.
He was cooking. Steaming. As always, nailed it. Credit to me for showing Chandler how to look at a box score.
Yep.
But we did end up finding it, and he got the pick against the Owls in a blowout, Chan, man.
49.
I love old names. Give me the offensive box score for ECU.
All right, 49-13 Pirates over the Owls. That moves East Carolina to 4-3 on the year. Patrick Pinckney, 231 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I don't know who this guy is. He came in, Josh Jordan.
I saw you looking him up. I remember the name, but yeah.
When you click on his name, he's a tight end for McNeill State.
Okay.
So, Dominique Lindsay, 12 carries, 78 yards.
Charlotte, stand up.
Brandon Jackson. I remember Brandon Jackson, number 3, I believe. 16 carries, 35 yards, and a touchdown. He was more of your, short yardage back, I think.
Let's speed this up.
Giovanni Ruffin with a touchdown.
Giovanni Ruffin.
Dwayne Harris, man, the playmaker. He was making plays that day. 9 catches, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. Andrew Bodenheimer.
Bodie.
A catch for 31 yards. And let's see, Jamar Bryant.
Jamar Bryant was good.
Remember Ryan Willis?
I do.
Ryan Willis got a catch in that game, so.
Honky check.
Yeah.
All right. Pirates, winners over Rice. Good call. Going to give Jarrett props, obviously, for his own air work. You don't see all the behind-the-scenes work he does with the video interviews we do, but he's been killing the interviews and helping out with all these interviews we've been knocking out. Been a busy week, a couple of weeks, few weeks. Jarrett, you brought a lot, and I mean a lot, to the show.
Really? I appreciate that.
Don't you feel that way?
Yeah.
You stay pretty damn busy, I'd say.
Yeah, I do. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Jamie is giving Shirley props for the Kim McNeill interview. Says I was just along for the ride. I did invite Shirley to that interview because she is not only a fan of ECU women's basketball, but also knowledgeable. So thank you for that, Shirley. I want to give Shirley props for Shirley has the occasional break on Facebook and YouTube wormhole, but usually she's at that computer doing production all day pretty much, log work, things like that. And it's hard to line up some of these guests, Holton, Rahjai particularly. They're doing things, working out. So I have to come in, and I hate to ask, but I have to do it. I say, Shirley, can I knock out an interview real quick? And I got to say, like 9.5 out of 10 times, she says with a delightful voice, sure. Every now and then I'll get an eye roll because she has 100 things to do, and I get that.
I get a lot of eye rolls.
But that's because she's always doing something, and we kind of have to get on her turf to do our job, so it interrupts her work. So I understand that, Shirley, as a producer,
right?
Because we don't go in Chandler's office and say, "Hey, can I knock out an interview real quick, Chan? Can you leave?" We have to do that on Shirley's turf. You would get upset too.
Yeah, in fact, there's a soundbite. That's what I say every time.
Oh yeah, this one.
All right. So Shirley, I'm gonna give you props for being a great team player, but also the behind-the-scenes work you do.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And I don't always give Chandler an eye roll.
No.
Usually, I just look at him and go away.
Yeah. Oh, because that's the sales side of it. Chandler's selling ads, and we have to update commercials, which is everything's on Shirley's turf, pretty much. Like that we do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You're the only person that has to be interrupted for other people to do their jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
no, that is true. That is true.
That's the way it rolls. But, appreciate you and your behind-the-scenes and on-air activity.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And this has been Clip Gives Props.
Thank you, Clip.
You're welcome.
It.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. What do we got, Sean? Nothing going on.
Nah,
Pirates
one
trailing.
out, two count on Jack Herring. Pirates down 1 as they are in the top of the third over the Charlotte 49ers.
We will take a break, come back, and wrap it up after this.
The icy treat that can't be beat is Sparky Snowballs. From big kids to little kids, Sparky Snowballs has been making smiles happen for over 20 years. If you're not in the mood to chill out with a snowball, Sparky's funnel cakes and fried Oreos are a perfect Sparky-licious treat every time. Are you having an event, party, or fundraiser? Call Sparky's to come on site. Remember to follow Sparky's on Facebook or visit SparkySnowballs.com to see where they'll be next.
Hey Pirate Nation, warm weather is here and it's time to get back on the boat. And at Stroud's Marine, they're stocked up with over 26,000 pre-owned parts. They got everything you need from propellers, lower units, trim units, electrical and fuel parts, and just about anything else you need for an outboard. Stay up to date with the latest deals, parts, and promotions by following them on social media. And as always, their mission is to save you money and get you back on the water as quickly as possible. Remember, they're just around the corner. Stop by the shop at 865 Rivet Street in Greenville. For more information, head to StroudsMarine.com. Stroud's Marine, your best source for salvaged outboard parts.
I lived with back and neck pain for 10 years.
I lived with pain for 10 years.
I lived with left knee pain for about a year.
I tried everything from pain medication to cortisone shots.
I did not want to go under the knife.
And then I found QC Kinetics.
Their holistic treatments fixed my back and my neck.
Their regenerative treatments fixed my knees.
Their natural treatments helped heal my knee pain.
Without surgery, drugs, or downtime.
If you want to be free from pain, come to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics, 252-645-6458.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in ENC. Open at noon 7 days a week with live music. Come enjoy sports trivia with me, Clip Rock, every Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, it's live local acoustic night, along with line dancing from 7 to 9 on Wednesday. Thursday, there's a brand new lineup with Singo starting at 8, followed by karaoke with DJ Dog. Ladies and free both Friday and Saturday nights with the best local bands in the area. Finish the weekend with free games and DJ Kids Scene.
Y'all come get bucked up.
Wings Over Greenville just turned up the heat with a new honey hotter flavor. Sweet meets spicy in the boldest way yet. Download the Wings Over app, enjoy the frequent flyer club, earn points, unlock exclusive deals, and redeem for free food. Save your go-to orders, order ahead, and skip the line. First-time app user, get free tenders just for signing up. And when you order delivery through the app, you skip the middleman. No extra fees from third-party apps like Uber Eats or DoorDash. And don't forget, use the promo code PIRATE25 for 10% off your meal. So fly smart. Download the Wings Over app today or order now at wingsover.com. Wings Over, they deliver.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Parker Bird for my friends at Shimmer Boutique. New spring arrivals are here from all your favorite brands like Kinder Scott, Yeti, Local Boy, Pimp Shrimp, Simply Southern, and a lot more. Shop now at shimmerboutiqueonline.com and receive free shipping on all orders over $100. And don't forget, Shimmer is your place to get your very own Parker Bird shirt, available in youth and adult sizes. Shimmer in Greenville, Winterville, Jacksonville, and shimmerboutiqueonline.com. Go Pirates.
University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern has been serving the tech repair needs of Eastern North Carolina since 2006. And as one of the only Apple authorized service providers east of Raleigh, all our technicians are Apple certified, and we only use genuine Apple parts. Your iPhone and Mac warranties are safe with us. Have questions or need service? Call 252-558-1280 or visit us online at universitypccare.com. University PC Care, your one-stop shop for service on everything Apple.
This summer, the Greenville Yard Gnomes are back at historic Guy Smith Stadium.
Hey there, it's me, Nomeo, the Yard Gnomes mascot. You've heard of gnomes bringing good luck, right? Well, I'm here to bring you great baseball and tons of fun, too. We're excited to have a great team, including a few ECU baseball players this year.
Season tickets are on sale now, so visit yardgnomesbaseball.com to get yours today.
We'll have great food, cold drinks, and fun games for everyone. Come out and hang with your gnomies this summer and have some fun at the ballpark with us, the Greenville Yard Gnomes.
Pirate Radio.
Pirates. Maybe they're nice pirates. Right.
A toast to the captain.
Ahoy! Now the hair makes sense.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. The Dow was down just a point as it closed at 41,859. The NASDAQ was ahead 53 points at 18,925. S&P dropped just 2 points and finished out the day at 5,842. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors stock market report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back into the show.
All right, my guys. Wrapping it up. We'll be back with you live on Tuesday. It's going to be a long weekend.
Long weekend.
We'll have a best of coming up on a Friday. And I think we'll have some O's baseball for you Monday. We will not have O's baseball for you tonight. Red Sox and O's have been postponed. Thank you, Shirley Rhodes, Jared Watkins, Chandler Honeycutt, and the crew here at Pirate Radio. Appreciate y'all tuning in today. We'll talk to you Tuesday. For the crew, I'm Clip Rock. Jeff Charles, take us home.
Have a great night, Eastern Carolina.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation